heavily populated area. I think within this warning there's only about 12 to 1,400 people in this area, but there are 2 schools, and it only takes 1 tornado to do a lot of damage. So we're going to keep with this one as it moves toward the Richland area, and it still looks like it's going to miss Americus as well. Let's see if we have any of the latest updates coming in. I'm going to see if we have any storm reports coming in as well. So coming from the National Weather Service, we're looking at rotation increasing significantly in Quitman County to a very high probability of a tornado, not just being indicated in Quitman County as well. And the velocity couplet in this, which is kind of how we tell which way the winds are moving within the storm, have been just very impressive with this particular cell, especially the Quitman County area. But not only, if you're just joining us, not only has this storm had the history of producing a radar-indicated tornado, it's got hail down on the state line there of 2.5 inches in diameter. That's getting close to baseball-sized hail. So there's a lot of different severe threats within this, as well as on the leading edge of it, you're probably going to get some rain moving through, as well as seeing some very strong wind. So this is where we're looking at the tornado warning right now. The first one that got issued whenever we broke in at about 12:05 looks like it's going to expire as it pushes off toward the northeast a little bit. But notice from the last time we had these tornado warnings, these storms are just moving quite slower. So that means in the areas that they're over, say a tornado is on the ground, it's going to be doing a lot more damage in that area. So let me go and put that red polygon back on so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about for these severe storms. So see, we've got right here, take that off, and there we have it. The first one would be this bottom one that you see. I'm just going to go over the warning on that again. This one is for about 5 more minutes for, let's see here, it's still moving off toward the northeast at 40 miles an hour with the potential for ping pong ball size hail, and of course a tornado. If you got a tornado warning, potential for a tornado. And it was first located 9 miles southwest of Lumpkin, but it was moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. So it's and coming on the fringes or in the Lumpkin area now, affecting a few counties, Randolph and Quitman at least. And then once that expires, if it's allowed to expire by the National Weather Service, we then go and focus on the tornado warning that is off toward the north and to the east, which includes Stewart and Webster counties. So 4 counties being affected by tornado warnings right now across southwest Georgia. Hopefully we don't see many more of these today, but this is what we were thinking would happen when we issued that first alert weather day. So where you see it say tornado warning until 1:15, that's going to be for Stewart and Webster counties there, and it's slowed down a bit, going to 35 miles an hour. The hazard, of course, being tornado ping pong ball size hail, but the storm has a history of hail about 2.5 inches in diameter. So anytime you get hail that big, in addition to the wind, you don't want the wind throwing 2.5 diameter hail around, so that's going to do damage as well. It could blow out siding in a home, or could also blow out some windows. So, Carla?
I was going to ask, in terms of what you said, it's approaching Lumpkin, that pink area that we're looking at?
Correct. I'm trying to pull up the velocity that I'm showing right here. So it looks like where the rotation is right now would be a few miles to the south of the city of Lumpkin. So what we're looking at is, I'm going to show you where I think this couplet is here in a second. Got, I think it's about in this area here. So it's a little further off toward the south, and that's where we're seeing this rotation move off toward the northeast. So Lumpkin definitely in this warning as well. So do you have something else?
No, I'm just looking at the rotation.
Yeah,
there.
We still have that rotation, and it's definitely moving toward the Lumpkin area. So unfortunately, we had to cut into the noon show here. I know we had some great guests that I'm sure we'll be able to get back on, but this is the warning that I'm worried about right now. The one in the southern, the bottom half of your screen, that one is set to expire within the next 3 minutes. the one that is on the top part of your screen where you see the box moving around a little bit, that one's not until 1:15. So
okay, and the other thing, I know we go over this, each weather event, but again, the difference between the watch and the warning.
Right. So most of Southwest Georgia right now, Carla, would be in a tornado watch, and I can show that to you as we take a break from just a briefly of this area. See that the red shaded area all across Southwest Georgia would be that tornado watch until 1. Now they are working on another tornado watch being put out. Let me see if they've extended this really fast. Still 1 o'clock, it looks like, across the area. But I do expect us to have another tornado watch as we go throughout the day. And if I overlap where the tornado warnings are on there, you can see those darker red boxes would be the warnings within inside where you've got the lighter shade of red. So the red, everybody that's in this watch here kind of needs to be mindful and weather aware, know that, hey, we need to watch out just to see if a tornado is possible, because at any moment it's possible that a tornado warning, which we have now, meaning a warning is already on, that's ongoing. It's either radar indicated or confirmed, which is what we have in Quitman Stewart counties right now. So let's get back to that. I'm going to look at the latest velocity scans and see where this storm has been moving. Try to eventually get a confirmation on this, as well as see if there's any damage coming from this. So I think we should probably start calling the sheriff's offices in these areas. I know they're going to be pretty busy right now.
All right, and we just want to say that we know we're going past our 12:30 time for our 12 o'clock newscast, but this is very, very important. We're going to stick with this and keep our viewers up to date on tornado warnings as they are posted across Southwest Georgia.
Right, and actually there's a new one that was issued too. So it looks like this part of this storm, at least, is pushing off toward the east, which does include Randolph and Terrell County now. So now we're getting a little bit closer to where Dawson would be. So in between Parrott and Dawson, that one goes until 1 o'clock, and might be cut into the programming now. It looks like we've got the severe weather alert going off on the television. I don't know if we're on the Facebook Live right now or not, but we do have another tornado warning that's been popping up. So this is becoming active. So now I would say if you live in the Americus area or Brownwood, that you probably need to start taking shelter, because even though you're not in the warning, this storm is moving your way, including Parrott, Plains, and even over toward the Americus area. So trying to get the velocity scans to work for us today, and we're kind of having some radar trouble across the southeast, unfortunately, but they're working on solving those issues. But this is the system you can see just blow up right around noon. That's kind of one of the time frames we had thought that some areas across Southwest Georgia would start to see some of these storms start to blow up. So let's see if the 12:30 warning is allowed to cancel, and it does appear so. So now that's why we've got the new warning, and the first one goes until 1 o'clock. The second one goes until 1:15. Focusing on the one that goes until 1:15, that's going to be for Stewart and Webster County. Again, moving off to the east-northeast at 35 miles an hour, indicated a tornado with this as well. A very impressive velocity coupled with this, a high probability of a tornado in Quitman County just about 20 minutes ago as well.
Possibly one on the ground there.
Okay, so Yolanda's back in. She said possibly one on the ground. So now we're not talking about just radar indicated. It's becoming a little more significant. We're getting a step closer to confirming a tornado on the ground in this area. So it still looks like to me on the latest scans that this rotation is south of Lumpkin, almost halfway between Lumpkin and Cuthbert, but it's moving toward the Weston area, and it looks like it will go north of Shellman but toward Parrott and south of Richland. So that's what we're looking at right now as this storm is just continuing to move very quickly. So we also had observed hail of 2 inches in diameter in Randolph and Terrell County. So if you guys live in either of those counties, you need to take shelter just because of the fact that you've got 2-inch hail coming your way. And this most recent tornado warning does have a population of about 1,000 people in it. Doesn't show any schools or hospitals in the immediate impact, but that doesn't mean that we don't have them there. So we're looking at a pretty massive storm right here. It's already got a very good indication of a tornado, possibly one on the ground. Not confirmed with that yet, but we at least have a tornado warning with this through 1:15, and right now being 12:33, we still got a little ways to go with this as it continues to move off to the east, or the northeast and the east at 35 to 40 miles an hour. And right now it's moving, that rotation, let's see, would be in this area right here. So south of Lumpkin, crossing over, that highway would be 27 and or Highway 1.
Is this setting up in any way to what happened in January?
At this point, it's a little hard to say. We still have, as I zoom out, there's a lot of thunderstorms tilted down toward the southwest that are moving into the Dothan area now. So as they move closer to southwest Georgia, where we're in an environment that is favorable for tornadoes, obviously, because we've got that tornado watch out there, it does look like there is that potential for us this evening for those tornadoes, or afternoon going into the evening, for those tornadoes to continue to pop up. So this hopefully is not the first of many, but we're going to prepare for it as if it is. And I think good call on having some of the kiddos out of school, because I know that this tornado warning in particular had 2 schools at least in the warning. So not what you want to see. As we track this tornado, potential tornado moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour. I'm going to time that out at 35, and let's see which way it's trending to move, and I'll get a new timing for you. So it does look like it kind of took a right shift and is moving more toward the east. So this is if it stays moving at 35 miles an hour. These are the towns that would then be affected by this tornado warning. So at 12:39, you've got Troutman. 12:47 is whenever you would be getting into Weston. 12:58, Parrott. And then eventually, if this storm holds, you'd be getting into Plains, which is, of course, where you've got Jimmy Carter, of course, the historic monument, things going on there with Jimmy Carter. So we have to definitely watch this storm as it continues to push off toward this. So right now, it looks like it's not confirmed, but I do believe that there are some storm spotters in the area that are actually looking at this potential tornado. And my guess would be with this tornado is that obviously you can see that there's a lot going on with this tornado. So what I'm going to, or this potential tornado. So I'm going to show you why you wouldn't really be able to see what's going on here. So the rotation south of Lumpkin moving toward Troutman and Weston. But if you've got all of this rain here, there's not going to be a very good visibility with it, which is why you've got rain-wrapped tornadoes, meaning you don't see those pretty pictures of tornadoes like you do in the plains when you maybe have a dry line set up. These are going to be more kind of clouds of water, I guess is one way to define that or give you an example of it. So the water that you see, the rain that you see, because rain wrapped, would actually be the outer bands of the storm, which can still do damage, but the tornado itself, so if these are the outer bands spinning around, the tornado would be more so inside that. So don't go outside to try to see this, because you're not going to. You're not going to have any luck with that. It's best to be in your safe place here if you live in any of these towns as this storm moves off to the east and the northeast. So again, this is a tornado warning that's going to be going on for quite some time now, going into 1:15 as we continue with this tornado warning. The next city that would be up to bat, I guess you could say, is Troutman to Weston, and it's going to cross over a couple of heavily traveled roads. I know some people take this way as they go from Albany to the Columbus area, or if you go to visit Providence Canyon. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have actually driven in this area, even if you don't live quite in this area. So I'm going to check the latest radar scan on this and see if we can get a kind of a little bit of a estimate on some of these wind speeds. And also, things are starting to kind of heat up as North Georgia, of course not here, but tornado warning issued there too. So now what I'm looking at is Weston. Weston has my attention, so I think that the radar's a little bit behind. So Weston, if you know anyone that lives in this town, this looks like where the tornado is moving into right now. So Troutman, Weston, you guys are under fire right now. Being your safe place, that's going to be in the lowest level of your home and the interior room. It's going to be either a hallway that doesn't have windows, a bathroom, maybe a closet as well. Those are some good spots to be, but make sure you're on the lowest level of your home. Now, in addition to that, you could get some, maybe if you have some kids that play sports, a helmet from baseball, football, because that will protect you from debris. But right now, I'm more worried about this potential tornado moving into the Weston area. That's where it looks like the greatest threat is for this rotation. And to give you some perspective, this is north of Cuthbert and off to the west of Americus. So in case you don't know where we're talking about here, tornado warning in effect until 1 for this southern slice here and 1:15 for the more northern slice that kind of tilts back. But from what I'm looking at, it does appear to be a radar indicated tornado moving into the town of Weston. So you guys, critical situation, make sure that you're in your safe spot right now. I'm going to see if we've got any more reports coming in because they're very helpful in times like these.
I don't see any more reports, Andrew, but actually that particular storm possibly contains some large-size hail. Of course.
Okay, so we've got, I guess, just as Yolanda was speaking, it looks like we've got a report of a tornado, multiple now. So
well, tornado sighted with damage, and that's in Randolph County in the Benevolence area. So it would be.
It would be about
just
right
about here.
So this is where we were showing the rotation. Now I think the rotation would be closer to this area, but we're getting reports of damage now in the Benevolence area of Randolph County, excuse me. But Weston now I think would be the area that needs to be taking shelter, because if we've got reports of a tornado now, I think it's safe to say we've got a tornado on the ground moving toward Benevolence, or out of Benevolence, moving toward Weston. So these areas right here, you've got 3 counties that come together. You guys really need to be taking shelter. This is the area that I'm worried about, south of Richland. Even if you're in Richland, and it looks like Lumpkin's just getting hammered with hail right now as well. So some damage from that is very possible, even if you don't get these tornadic winds moving your way. So this tornado warning extends until about 1 to 1:15 in this area here. But Weston is the area that I'm most worried about at the moment for these a potential tornado that has been sighted. We don't know if it's actually on the ground.
Well, storm spotters have indicated a possible tornado on the ground, large rain-wrapped tornado, and it is continuing to move off toward the northeast, getting in some storm reports from the storm chasers there, right around the Benevolence area. Emergency management reports that a tornado at just before 12:30 was sighted, and there is damage being reported in the Benevolence area, which is across northern areas of Randolph County. And that particular storm right now continuing to move off toward the northeast. Looks like it's sitting right on top of Stewart County, right around Lumpkin, heading off toward Richland, possibly the Weston area, and that is along Highway 520. So
now,
if you're between Weston and Richland, the storm is moving in that direction.
Okay, so I looked at some radar estimated wind speeds just to maybe a mile or two coming into Weston, and of course it's an estimate, so they're going to be a little bit high, but the estimate was 84 miles an hour for wind moving into town. So tornado or not, that's going to do some damage for this tornado warning that continues until 1:15. So definitely a dangerous situation in Weston. You guys need to be in your safe spots right now as we continue to look at this tornado warning. Let's see if we could get that popped back up here. See, these are the different areas that are under the tornado warning. The red polygon, of course, the yellow arrow that is spinning around is what is showing us the rotation right now, moving into Weston. And now we've got a new update on on this tornado warning. It remains in effect for southeastern Stewart and Webster counties, but a new update for you guys, a tornado emergency for southern Stewart County into Webster County. So now we're a step above a tornado warning. A tornado emergency is going to be the highest. I mean, it's a step above a tornado warning. You can't really get above that. So now this was updated at 12. Not too long ago, we're looking at a tornado emergency.
And that means that if you're in Stewart County, you need to be getting to your safe place right now. Do not wait until that storm gets on top of you, as it is a tornado emergency for southern areas of Stewart County into Webster County. And confirmed a large and destructive tornado was located near Benevolence. That was across northern areas of Randolph County, or about 7 miles south of Lumpkin, moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this is a very dangerous storm. You need to be in that safe place. It is a deadly tornado. It has been confirmed by emergency management of a tornado that has impacted areas of northern Randolph County and now moving off toward the northeast into southeast Stewart County and then eventually toward Webster County. So those areas right around Weston, heading toward Richland, definitely get into your safe place right now. Do not venture outside. Don't try to see what's happening. This particular storm is life-threatening, and there will be flying debris on the outside. Of course, could likely cause considerable damage to homes as well as any buildings. So please do not go out. It would be very dangerous for you to be in your car at this particular time. Some of those areas likely impacted: Lumpkin, Preston, Richland, Weston, Seminole, Kimbrough, along with Troutman, Church Hill, Center Point, and Chambliss. And once again, if you're in areas of Lumpkin, as well as Stewart and Webster counties, make sure that you are in your safe room right now.
Just going to let you know that Randolph County is reporting what they're calling a big tornado. The EMA director says that the National Weather Service called them to let them know, and they are getting flooded with calls. And as soon as this passes over, they will go out to look at the damage. We're praying, of course, that no one was injured in this, but that is what is happening in Randolph County right now.
Right, a large rain-wrapped tornado, so it's something that you probably couldn't see, but I'm quite sure if you had looked outside and saw the dark clouds coming in, that was probably that tornado. Of course, as you said, Carla, it has been confirmed by emergency management of a larger tornado that has impacted the Benevolence area, which is in northern Randolph County. Okay. And that particular tornado continuing to move toward the northeast into areas of Stewart and Webster counties. And that's where we have tornado warnings.
So when you talk about rain wrapped, how does that differ? I guess there's more rain as opposed to just wind?
Right. Well, yes, you have a lot of rain wrapping the tornado, so you really can't see it. And what you look up in the sky, you see just a really dark area of cloudiness, so a lot of rain, but you don't actually see the tornado, which is sitting right in the center of all of that rain. So it's a rain wrap, and that means some very heavy rainfall is in that area. No doubt you are getting some large size hail. That particular storm has a history of golf ball size hail, even larger, coming out of eastern areas of Alabama, right around the Eufaula area. So definitely Stewart as well as Webster counties, you all need to be in your safe room right now. A confirmed tornado is moving your way. It is rain wrapped, a very large and dangerous storm. It could be life threatening. That's why you need to be in a safe area right now. Do not try to go outside and see what's happening. Stay in your safe area. Wait until this storm passes through your area.
Okay, so looking at the most recent radar indicated wind speeds, it looks like on the north side of town here, we're still getting 70 mile-an-hour winds, which you can't really tell here, but the back end of this tornado warning was just trimmed a little bit. But in this area is where we're really thinking that tornado couplet's going to be. It's moving off to the east here in the northeast, impacting the town of Weston, a confirmed tornado moving in. This is exactly what we didn't want to have today, moving into the town of Weston off to the northeast of Benevolence, where they also in Randolph County have already reported damage to us today. So the latest scan coming in, and you can just see hail probably with this as well. Almost definitely this particular storm has a history with, on top of the confirmed tornado, 2.5 inch in diameter hail. So definitely a very damaging storm, and the National Weather Service actually called this storm particularly dangerous and potentially deadly. So you don't always have those potentially deadly storms with a tornado. Well, of course, every tornado warning is potentially deadly, but this one's even more so, as they issued a tornado emergency for the southern portions of the counties here, including Weston, and it's moving off to the east. So you guys in Plains, get ready, because you're just getting a little bit of light rain. Same with you guys over in Americus, but just hang on here about 20-30 minutes at the most, because even Plains within the next 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to start hearing the wind pick up. The rain is just going to come down in sheets, especially if we have a rain-wrapped tornado. You're not going to be able to see it. It's going to be in the Weston area now, just hoping and praying for the best that everyone in this area took shelter and heeded the warnings here. But this one, including Weston, where we had that tornado emergency, still in effect until 1:15.
Well, of course, this is what we were anticipating for today, and this is only the beginning. These are the first tornado warnings of this afternoon. The activity is expected to become more intense as we move throughout the afternoon. There will continue to be multiple warnings as we work our way throughout the next couple of hours, particularly this afternoon on into our Wednesday evening. So all need to remain alert, whether you're in an area right now that's not being impacted by any activity. That is likely to come as we continue throughout our Wednesday. Let me zoom back out so you can get an idea of what's happening across the rest of South Georgia, anywhere from Albany heading over toward Tifton into Cordele, areas along I-75. It has been rather quiet for the past few hours. Of course, we had some early morning showers and thunderstorms. This is a second round of severe weather, and of course we'll continue with multiple rounds of not only strong to severe storms, but also tornadic activity. So once again, traveling along I-75 points off to the east. Things are quiet at this time, but the activity will continue to ramp up and push across the area throughout the afternoon on into our Wednesday evening. For now, we see the bulk of the activity in our far northwestern areas, stretching from Quitman-Clay counties now into Stewart and Webster counties. That's where we have a tornado warning. Tornado has been confirmed by emergency management over in Randolph County, impacting the area of Benevolence. That same storm has pushed off toward the northeast into areas of Stewart County, and that's where we also have a tornado warning, not only Stewart County, but also into Webster County. Just along Corridor Z, the storm has been passing. I'm going to zoom in, see if we can pick up a few more towns there. There's Beatrice, likely impacting Beatrice right now, and then moving toward Lumpkin, heading toward Highway 27. Northern areas of Stewart County, possible tornado is moving in that direction. But definitely, if you're in Stewart as well as Webster counties, you need to be in that safe area. There are reports of trees down, possible tornado over Quitman County, and that was just about midday. But of course, those storms have been moving northeastward, impacting Randolph County, now into areas of Stewart and Webster counties, where we have a tornado warning. That particular storm, a tornado was confirmed and cited on the, confirmed by storm spotters as well as emergency management. It was cited on the ground with a damage. So very dangerous storm, and all need to be in those safe areas in Stewart and Webster counties, as that particular storm, which prompted the tornado warning, continues to push off toward the northeast.
And it also looks like it's, see where it's moving now, trying to pick up exactly where I think the tornado would be right now. It's not as well defined as it was, but that being said, radar has indicated very strong winds, 40 to 50 miles an hour now, moving into Plains. And the strongest wind right now would be south of Preston and north of Parrott. It looks like Weston is now getting the back end of this, so hopefully we didn't get too much damage in that area, because definitely had reports of a spotted tornado. And it's hard to see exactly where you'd get a funnel with this because it's rain wrapped, but this tornado warning that we have here it's still in effect until about 1:15. So the latest we've got for you, this tornado warning does expire in 21 minutes, but I'm going to read you exactly the wording that the National Weather Service has issued, and it says tornado emergency for far southeast Stewart County and Webster County. So we're not looking too great in that area. Of course, this has been going on now for 20 minutes or so. Also, at 12:45, so about 8 minutes ago, we had a confirmed large and destructive tornado, which was located over Weston. So Weston definitely took a hit over 9 miles southwest of Preston, moving east at 40 miles an hour. So it's going to be moving east now. So it was moving northeast, and sometimes these can take a little bit of a right shift, which is what it did. And now it looks like Americus in Sumter County, you guys are going to be next on this if the tornado does stay in contact with, but you know, it looks like it's weakened a little bit, but these storms cycle, and it still looks like there's a very good amount of rotation there to still have this tornado warning. Now we've got a new one just coming out now, a tornado emergency for Americus and Plains until 1:45. So now, just zoom out just maybe a little bit, and we can pull over a little bit more toward the Americus area. We have a tornado emergency. Again, this is a step up above what you would expect with a tornado warning. So hey, a tornado emergency above that. So this is a very dangerous situation. Didn't want to see that right turn happen with this storm as it started moving in to the area, but with that particular tornado, this is the area that you guys need to be in shelter now. Plains, in your safe spot right now. Americus, in your safe spot right now. You guys have plenty of time, being a couple minutes, to get into your safe spot, and don't get out until this tornado warning is over. The same goes for you guys on the south side of Richland and Weston. You guys are not to be out of your safe room just yet, because there are still very, very strong winds in this area, about 40 miles an hour at least. So if there is debris, which it looked like there was with a confirmed tornado, those winds on the back side can swing up some of that debris. We don't need anyone getting hurt. Hopefully no one hurt from this. And what we're trying to do is prevent any potential injuries with this tornado warning now that is for Plains and Americus as well. So
Andrew, this tornado emergency for Sumter County is in effect until 1:45. A confirmed large and destructive tornado was observed over Weston, or about 7 miles southwest of Preston. It is moving toward the east at 30 miles per hour. Everyone in Sumter County, you need to take cover immediately. It is considered a deadly tornado. Emergency management confirmed the tornado. It has a history of producing a half mile to 1 mile wide. That's the track of this long track and strong tornado. It could be life-threatening, so make sure that you have your safe place and that you are in it right now. Do not leave. This particular tornado could destroy homes. Considerable damage to buildings. Vehicles are likely to be impacted as well. And areas that are in the path of this dangerous tornado: Americus, Plains, New Era, and Maddox. Make sure that right now you are in that safe area. A very large, extremely dangerous, and potentially deadly tornado is on the ground, and that is for areas of Sumter County. The storm is moving off toward the east at 30 miles per hour. We have a tornado emergency for Sumter County. If you're in Sumter County, please seek shelter immediately, as this storm likely could be deadly. It is very large and a destructive storm. Of course, it is continuing to move off toward the east. As you can see, that tornado warning does cover Sumter County, anywhere from Plains over toward Americus, as it is moving now off toward the northeast. Areas along Highway 19 are included in that tornado emergency right now. Let's see if we can get it here up on the radar.
That radar in there, and click, just have the warning on overlaid with that, because Yolanda just said it, but I want to just reiterate a little bit to you guys about how dangerous this storm is. Now, the tornado warning until 1:45, it's probably going to move a little bit quicker than that, but tornado emergency, a step above a tornado warning now for Sumter County and of course central, really south central Georgia here. You guys know Americus very well. Plains is also included in this. So this is the wording that has been used by the National Weather Service. We've got a tornado warning in Sumter County. A confirmed large and destructive tornado was first observed about 6 minutes ago over Weston, or 7 miles southwest of Preston, moving east at 30 miles an hour. So now this storm moving due east, moving toward Plains, moving toward Americus, and right now going over Botsford. Now it says this is, to repeat, a large, extremely dangerous, and potentially deadly tornado is on the ground. To protect your life, you need to take cover now. Move to an interior room, the lowest possible floor of wherever you're at right now. You need to avoid windows if in a mobile home. You know, if it's coming in close to you guys, it's almost too late. But if you're in a mobile home and you live on the east side of Sumter County, now would be the time to go to a substantial shelter, because you need to protect yourself from, at the very least, flying debris. So a large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground. Take immediate tornado precautions. This is an emergency situation now, moving into Plains as we speak, and also followed soon by that, the town of Americus, which got hit pretty bad. I believe it was 2007. So hoping for no repeat there. Let's see what the wind speeds have as we go into this area now with this confirmed large tornado on the ground. Radar is indicating about 70 or so mile-an-hour winds now. In Plains, it's up to 50. So this is moving into that area now. In addition to this, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Dawson, Leesburg, Smithville until 1:30. So we're just so you know about that, but we're going to focus on this tornado warning right now, because that is an emergency. So let's see here. We've got, let's pull that warning box back up on Americus and Plains. Okay, so we've got the red polygon back up here, and the storm's moving in to Plains right now. So it does look like we're getting the brunt of it in the Plains area, which is right here. And south of that, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. So things really starting to ramp up in the area. This tornado warning does continue until 1:45, with this severe thunderstorm warning going until 1:30. Not really concerned too much about that right now. But the tornado warning, which is a tornado emergency, which you know you really don't see those.
I was going to ask you, Andrew. I had not heard that term.
Well,
before.
we had one on the 22nd for Albany.
And see, I wasn't here,
but
so
it's fine. It's just not.
Talk
it's not
about
typical.
that.
Okay, so a tornado emergency, you kind of think of that more as a particularly dangerous situation, another step up from just a watch or warning. A PDS tornado potential there, it's not good, because typically those are the tornadoes that have the potential to take lives, and that's exactly what we do not want today. No, we can repair homes, we can get new cars, can't get a new life. So that's not what we want to see here with this particularly dangerous situation. Moving into Plains right now, 280 going toward Americus. This area right here is where I expect the tornado to be right now. I'm going to give you the latest radar on this, and so the National Weather Service is cutting in on television for severe thunderstorm warning. I think we're still live on Facebook. So this is what I'm really worried about right now, and that would be this tornado potential moving into Plains and Americus, also north of the Parrott area. So as I finish this up, I cannot stress to you guys enough how just emergency is an understatement whenever it comes to a tornado emergency. Unfortunately, we saw that all too well here in Albany. Now we have to help out and pray for our friends to the north in Plains and Americus in Sumter County, and of course Randolph, Quitman, and the counties that have already been affected by this tornado that has been on the ground now, potentially looking like 30 minutes plus. So we definitely don't want to see this, but we've got rotation showing up here now, moving into Plains. So it still looks like that rotation is maybe in this area right here. It could be a little bit further off to the northeast. No matter if you're in Plains or if you're in Americus, if you're really in Sumter County, you need to be taking your shelter now, because you still have a little bit of time before the rotation that's in this area here starts moving into some of the more populated areas. Plains, pretty much there already. Americus, you've got a little bit of time before this moves your way. And in addition to that, we're worrying about the city of Leslie down here. Of course, it's going to, if this sticks together, it's going to cross over Highway 19, continuing to push off toward the east at about 30 to 40 miles an hour. Let's see exactly what it said when the warning was issued. 30. So the bad news with that is it's a slow mover, so it's going to do more damage over a shorter period, but shorter period doesn't really exist with a potentially long track tornado. Don't know exactly how long it's been confirmed on the ground. We'll find that out later. But the important part right now is that Sumter County is under a tornado emergency for what is possibly a life-threatening situation, and you don't always see those tornado emergencies. Again, they're a step above what you expect to see with a tornado warning. So
it looks like that storm right now is approaching the Plains area, and then eventually it'll continue off toward the east. But of course, we were anticipating strong long track tornadoes across South Georgia this afternoon. The activity is gradually increasing across the area, and this is actually only the beginning. We are anticipating more in terms of strong to severe storms, even tornadic activity, as we continue on through the rest of this afternoon. Of course, of immediate concern is the tornado warning for Sumter County, and that is based on a confirmed and destructive tornado that came through Weston, Terrell County, and continues to move off toward the east at about 30 miles per hour. If you're in Sumter County, all need to be in a shelter right now in your safe room, preferably the center of your home, bathroom, closet. Of course, stay there until we give you the all clear. Do not venture outside to see what is happening, as this is very dangerous. This storm has a history of producing damage, as it has been pushing from the southwest toward the northeast over the past few hours. Very dangerous storm that could be life-threatening. So definitely stay inside, protect yourself, and stay there, as you don't want to go outside. There could likely be a lot of flying debris. This storm has said to be rain-wrapped tornado, so it's nothing that you can actually walk outside and see twisting in the air, but definitely there is a sign that there is something happening.
And you know, we are concerned, of course, because we are here in Southwest Georgia, but this severe weather is extending across the state. We've just gotten some video in. I believe this is from WXIA, showing the rainy roadways in Atlanta, and the Federal Aviation Administration has instituted a ground stop at Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport for all inbound and outbound flights due to the severe weather that they're having around the Atlanta area. So, of course, we are under the gun here, but this is stretching all across the state today.
It sure is, and this is what we were anticipating. Let me update the tornado watch. It has been extended until 8 p.m., and it covers most of Southwest Georgia. So still the potential for strong, even severe storms and tornadic activity throughout the afternoon on into our Wednesday evening. Of course, we have all the ingredients coming together is what we were anticipating for today, with a moderate to enhanced risk for severe storms around Southwest Georgia. So once again, the immediate concern is the tornado warning that is in effect for Sumter County. A very large and dangerous tornado has been spotted and is moving off toward the east on into Sumter County. And also we have severe thunderstorm warnings for areas of Terrell County and Lee County Also, those storms are pretty intense as well, possibly containing not only heavy downpours, but also wind gusts could reach as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour and possibly some hail in those storms. Of course, these storms have a history of producing large-size hail, golf ball. Earlier today, some storms had baseball-sized hail over portions of Alabama. So the hail threat is significant, as well as the threat for tornadoes as we move throughout the afternoon.
And again, the rain-wrapped tornado means that you may not actually see the tornado as it's coming.
Exactly. These are likely to be very strong tornadoes and long track tornadoes. And what we mean by long track, being on the ground for an extended period, not just touching down and touching back and going back up, but staying on the ground and covering an extended path. Actually, one of the discussions from the tornado that moved through northern Randolph County, right around the Benevolence area, said that the track was about a half mile. So these are actually staying on the ground and continuing in a path that is causing widespread damage.
And they have the strong winds.
And they very, very strong winds indeed. Possibly these tornadoes could have winds as high as 110 miles per hour. EF2 tornadoes possibly throughout the afternoon.
Just updating a graphic here really quick.
I know everyone is concerned about, I know it's been pretty quiet for a few hours across the area, but don't let your guard down. We still have the potential for these storms to really kick up and get out of hand over the next few hours, particularly throughout the afternoon on into early Wednesday.
And as you say, have that plan. We've been emphasizing that. Make sure you have your plan. If your family's at home, your students are home today, make sure you go over that plan so that they will know what is needed if it happens to move into our area.
Right, exactly. And they need to know exactly where they're going to go. Exactly where they're going to go. Bathroom, closet, make sure
hallway.
that away from windows. Do not go outside and try to see what is going on. Winds were kicking up with severe thunderstorms here in Albany yesterday, and it was kind of tough to be out there. There was flying debris outside, so you don't want flying debris to be caught in flying debris because you could injure yourself.
Okay, well, I've been looking at the radar scans now, and it does look like we're picking up another rotation now. It looks like it's really moving just to the south of Plains into this area right here. So this is where we've got Sumter County in the tornado emergency, including Plains and Americus there until 1:45. So the latest radar scans have a kind of a couplet where the tornado would be in this area right here. So if you don't understand what a tornado emergency is, that's a step above a tornado warning. So you've got the tornado warning, you've got the potential for a tornado, whether it's radar indicated or on the ground. In this case, we've got a confirmed large tornado, potentially deadly tornado, confirmed on the ground, moving into Sumter County, moving out of some areas that have already had damage, such as Weston and Randolph County. So now our focus turns to Sumter County, Plains, and Americus. You guys are going to be the ones that are under the gun next on this one. And ahead of this, just in general, this storm is very electric with lots of lightning. I'm going to put the radar back on for you guys so that you can see exactly what we're looking at here. So if you're from the area, this is what we have coming over your way, and it's moving off toward the east again at about 30 miles an hour. So I do my best to time it out as we get the fringes of the thunderstorm itself moving into Americus. So it's a kind of a busy screen there, but there's a lot going on. So the severe thunderstorm and the tornado emergency in Sumter County now. It looks like it's crossed over the county line, moving into Sumter County, or it's doing it so right now. So it's going to be around this area right here. So the severe thunderstorm portion of this, more in the northern part, looks like would affect Americus and some of these other cities in the northern part of Sumter County. But with the latest scan, so I need to retime this for us, it does look like the south side of Plains right now is exactly where it looks like this tornado is located. So this isn't just a radar indicated tornado. This looks like it's actually confirmed, and we've had it said that it is confirmed as well. So I'm going to see if there's any update from the National Weather Service here on this tornado. Let's see, as we continue this tornado emergency in Sumter County right now. So again, we've got a tornado watch in effect for most of southwest Georgia until 8 o'clock tonight. But for now, our focus is, without an update, of course, coming back here, the tornado potential moving into Plains. So right now, it's moving into the south side of Plains, and it's continuing to move off to the east at about 30 miles an hour. If it stays on this track moving east at 30 miles an hour, it would miss the downtown area of Americus barely, but you guys are in the tornado emergency. You need to be in your safe spots right now. So let's see if we can see the winds looking at this. It's not going to be super accurate because you've got the radar estimate on it, but I'm still looking at some pretty decent wind speeds within the area up to 60 miles an hour, and that's without actually getting the potential tornado couplet in there. So the winds around this, especially on the south side here, it looks like we've got 50 to 50 mile an hour winds moving toward the east again at about 30 miles an hour. So we do have that tornado emergency. I want to read over it again because it's not often that you see these. And it's a long-lasting one as well. Right now it's 113. This is lasting for another 31 minutes. So from the National Weather Service, tornado emergency for Sumter County. And this is from the National Weather Service up in Atlanta, Peachtree City. A confirmed large destructive tornado has been sighted and confirmed with this particular storm. So the red polygon that you see here that ends in the eastern side of Sumter County over back toward Weston is what we're talking about with this tornado warning, even though the threat now is really just in Sumter County. It's past Weston and it's moving more toward the east toward Highway 19 between Smithville and Americus. I know that's a pretty traveled road, and this tornado warning now, confirmed tornado moving toward this area.
We've got some damage reports. Somebody just sent me a text that said that they had seen where power lines and trees are down in Webster County. Some businesses damaged as well, and this was coming from the EMA director. So we're keeping an eye on that, trying to get reports of damage from Webster County that hit about, what, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah,
20 to 30?
Give or take about 20. So I'm trying to see exactly what the folks from the Atlanta National Weather Service are saying here. We've got Webster County, now going back to that, reports of a tornado damage report to 2 structures along Main Street in Weston. So we need to check on Weston. We need to make sure everyone's okay in Weston. Main Street in Weston, one building had a roof removed and another structure had collapsed. Now, what we're looking at with the tornado in Sumter County, it's likely rain-wrapped, and you've heard us say this before, but a rain-wrapped tornado happens when you have a lot of precipitation within a tornadic supercell thunderstorm, and what happens is you've got the rotation, you've obviously got a lot of rain, especially when you have rain out in front of your particular rotation. It's going to suck it up and you're going to have those outer bands. That's going to make the tornado look probably bigger than it is, but those outer bands can still pack a punch with horizontal rain blowing at very large, big speeds there. But I'm still looking at where Plains and south of Plains, between Plains and Parrott, and between Plains and Smithville is where it looks like the most damage is going to be coming from this storm. As we go toward Sumter County here, it's moving toward the east again at 30 miles an hour. Now, this is a tornado emergency. Unfortunately, at least the second one we've had this year for a day of tornado emergencies. This time affecting Sumter County, south of Plains, and includes the city of Americus, although from what I can tell on the velocity scans and the radar, it does appear that the majority of these winds, the high damaging winds, the tornado, would be south of the Americus area. So it's still moving off to the east. It's a slow mover. It's not moving fast. We just got a new update. You can see Americus itself probably getting hammered now with some hail, at the very least blinding rainfall. as this tornado warning continues until 1:45. And this is the only tornado warning we have now, so back off toward the west. We don't have to worry about it. This is our main focus, so I'm actually going to move it over a little bit so we can see some of these towns that are coming off toward the east that are potentially in danger, in addition to Plains and also in addition to Americus. So,
of course, I just looked that tornado up, the Sumter tornado, March 1st of 2007, I believe.
Right.
So around this same time of year.
Just over a decade too. So it's not uncommon for us to get tornadoes this time of year here in South Georgia. It's kind of uncommon to get the strength of them. That's what's odd about this. But you know, we did have it in the forecast, the potential for this. Now obviously we don't know the strength of it, and at this time we're just treating it as a very strong, you know, damaging tornado. It doesn't really matter their strength right now because everyone should be in their tornado sheltering spots. So let's see. I'm not going to really take a break from this, but I'm just going to tell you exactly what to expect south of there, because we're getting a lot of questions, whether it be on Facebook or email and calls, about what about other areas. Well, other areas, they're not under a tornado emergency right now, so we're going to focus on those areas. If there's a tornado warning, then we'll jump to those. But for now, we're focused on a tornado emergency issued for Sumter County. And as we know very well here in Dougherty County, where the station is, we had one of those in January, so we need to pay all the attention to this. So south of Plains right now is where it looks like the best rotation would be for this. Actually getting more concerned for Smithville as well, even though there's not so much a warning issued here. It looks like we've got this area covered for the potential for this tornado track. It's a move forward here as we go toward the next little while, because the winds here are pretty high. So we're looking at 60 at least on the outside of this, and they're going to be a little skewed because of how far away it is from the radar. But in addition to the potential for this potential deadly tornado, we've got winds at around 60 miles an hour, at least radar indicated. So let's see here. I'm going to check the latest from the National Weather Service. Let's see here. From Tallahassee, looks like we're just talking more so about the tornado watch, but Atlanta's still very concerned with the National Weather Service out of Atlanta, very concerned about this tornado emergency still in effect for about 25 minutes, and doesn't mean that we couldn't even extend that a little further out, as this tornado could potentially be cycling a little bit. It looked like briefly it could have weakened on radar, so now it looks like it's becoming a little bit more organized. So we're definitely sticking with this, and it's still pushing off toward the east. So Leslie, you guys under that severe thunderstorm warning, as well as Smithville, but it wouldn't take too much for this tornado to come your way. So we've already seen it shift right once, because it started off on the ground moving northeast at 35 to 40 miles an hour. Now it's moving east at 30 miles an hour, so it's shifting right, slowing down, but has been on that track of moving east. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to zoom in even tighter than what we're at now, so that you guys can see exactly where we're thinking this potential tornado. That, I mean, it's been confirmed not recently, but history of having a confirmed tornado with this here. And again, it's a tornado emergency.
Andrew, while you're doing that,
yes,
let's see if we can, if we're up there. We have just had one of our MMJs talk to the Randolph County Emergency Manager, Kenneth Burns, and he says they have not gone out to assess damage so far, but they have got a lot of calls of reports of damage in Randolph County. They are still sheltered down just now, getting ready to go out and check out. But according to Kenneth Burns, they have been receiving lots of calls about damage in Randolph County. So we're now talking to people over there who are talking about sending us pictures and everything. We'll bring those to the viewers just as soon as we can.
Right, and we are streaming live on Facebook as well, just in case you guys do lose power through this and your phones are charged. You can still keep up with the what's going on here with the severe weather event as it plays out the rest of today. We're on Facebook. You could comment safely. If you could get pictures of severe or damage in your area, you could comment those in the comment section there for on that Facebook Live. But what's most important right now is this rotation that's south of Plains now, and it's continuing to move off to the east at 30 miles an hour. I'll only move that. I'm sitting in front of the way of the tornado emergency sign there until 1:45. But I just had to zoom in on that so you guys could get a few more towns that are potentially in the way here. And I don't necessarily know how to pronounce all these towns. I know everyone's got their own way of pronouncing your town, but it does look like we've got some more areas that are under threat here, under the gun, including the Croxton Crossroads area could be getting some very damaging wind. And as that tornado moves toward you, just got an update on the radar scan here. So Sumter County still under this tornado emergency, of course. Looks like downtown Americus itself getting hammered pretty good with some heavy rain and potential hail with this storm. So let's see if we got an update real quick before I go back over to the wall. And so the latest we have is there's still a good chance that the Sumter County tornado is on the ground. In fact, it's likely rain-wrapped, which we've already talked about, and it moving over Maddox near South Americus. So now that we've got more of an updated location on here, we've got the Maddox area is now where we're looking at on the edge of where this is. So there's Americus, moving a little bit, there's Maddox. So we've got this tornado emergency till 1:45. The latest from the National Weather Service is that they think that it's still on the ground, moving over Maddox right now, south of Americus as well. So, yes.
I was doing what you and Yolanda have been doing too, following the National Weather Service out of Atlanta, and ahead of all of that, a severe thunderstorm warning including Leslie and DeSoto and Sumter, Georgia until 1:45. So,
right. And this is kind of the area where the blue arrow is showing that the National Weather Service is saying that they do believe that the tornado is still on the ground, still a good chance there. So let's just keep going with this a little bit as I guess it's getting cut off a little bit.
I'm with you too, Andrew, in terms of pronunciations of the cities and communities, because I just sent out a text and I think I spelled Maddox. So if you see that, I mean M-A-D-D-O-X instead of the T-T-O-X. Not familiar with that community, but please forgive me for that.
Right, and the important thing is that we've got your town on the map, so you guys know how it's pronounced. So we're still going with this tornado emergency here. This is Sumter County that you see in the red polygon, and where it looks like the tornado would be is crossing over Highway 19 and 3 here in the Maddox area, south of Americus. So this would be downtown Americus, all in Sumter County. This is the area where we're thinking that tornado likely is, and that means if it keeps moving off to the east, it would be going over toward Huntington, and then I think that Leslie would be over there past that as well. So since this is a tornado emergency, it's particularly dangerous situation as well. Emergency management confirmed a tornado, and it has the history of producing large hail as well on the backside of this storm. And it also looks like they think it could be half mile to 1 mile wide. Some of that probably is going to be the rain that's wrapped around it. I don't know that it's actually that large, but what matters is the people that are being affected by this. We've already got damage reports coming in from this tornado warning we've been following now, going on an hour. Started closer to Quitman, Randolph County, Stewart, and now we're going toward Maddox, and Terrell County was also under that warning at one point. But right now, this is really the area that we're concerned about, with those velocity scans still showing that a good chance of a tornado just going on the south side of Americus. It looks like Americus downtown could have dodged a bullet with this one. but not your neighbors to the south. So not to say there won't be any damage in this area, but particularly Americus itself, it doesn't look like it took a direct hit. Now the latest scan comes in still looking like we've got at least heavy rain and a lot of lightning with this tornado emergency that's ongoing for Sumter County. And it's potentially deadly, guys. This is not anything that you want to joke around with. Of course, if you're in Sumter County or if you're off toward, if you live east of Sumter County, you want to make sure that you're in your safe spot, especially in the Maddox area going toward Huntington. So I do imagine if this tornado indication stays the way it is, we're going to have this extended a bit further off to the east here as this continues to push off toward the east. It's still about 30 miles an hour, which it's indicated, you know, this really is a life-threatening situation. I can't get that urgency out to you guys enough. It's a large, extremely dangerous, potentially deadly tornado on the ground. So we're kind of having flashbacks from January, except up here in Sumter County now, potentially going over the Maddox area south of Americus. Now, that also just to the south of Maddox would be Smithville as well, and some other areas that are around here would be the area of Huntington. That's not technically in that tornado warning yet. Portions of the city probably are, but not proper. But Maddox right now is the latest area that we think that this tornado is moving over, and it's a little bit on the slow side of moving. Normally you see these 30 mile an hour moving tornadoes more so in the plains, but we had that 70 mile an hour moving tornado back in January, so now we're taking it back. We're slowing it down. 30 miles an hour is what we're looking at, and it does look like there's still the potential for a tornado still in this area, though. The couplet's not super defined, and the couplet would be where we look at the winds and the atmosphere to see where exactly we think we would have that tighter rotation. So any other damage reports coming in?
I'm not seeing any, Andrew, but of course this particular storm has been on the ground for quite some time and impacting areas of Sumter County, anywhere from Plains over toward Americus. Everyone needs to be in that safe place right now. Of course, this particular storm started back across northern Randolph County, right around Benevolence, where it was reported on the ground, leaving behind destruction in that area. It has pushed off toward the east over the past hour, and looks like it is a very large, long-track tornado impacting a large area between Webster and Sumter counties, stretching all the way back, starting initially down in Randolph County, northern Randolph County. So definitely we are hoping for the best. Hopefully everyone had their safe place and they were alert, and they once the warning was issued, they got to their safe place. This is only the beginning. Once again, we have the potential for more severe storms as we continue on into the afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center has extended the tornado watch for just about all of South Georgia until 8 p.m. So the potential for not only severe storms, but also tornadoes remain as we move into our Wednesday evening. Of course, right now, the major concern is that emergency for Sumter County with a tornado possibly on the ground there and continuing to push through the county, moving through Americus right now, and then we'll head toward the eastern side of the county as it continues in that direction. But reportedly a rain-wrapped tornado, one that is hard to detect if you are outside trying to see one. That larger tornado, of course, is very dangerous, and all need to be, once again, in that safe place. Don't wait, don't try to go outside. Just make sure that you wait until we give you the all clear. Hopefully everyone is safe.
Okay.
Question from viewers, and I think Andrew touched on this just now, that, you know, we know that there are watches extended, did you say until 8 tonight? Tornado watches. Yes. And so people are saying, well, what about us? What about us? But I think those people who are not under the gun right now, it's coming, but right now these areas are actually having to deal with the tornadoes on the ground, correct?
Right, correct, exactly. So we'll have multiple storms developing as we continue throughout the afternoon on into early evening. Right now, the storms are impacting mainly our western and northwestern areas. If you're in Dougherty County, no storms are in the area. Moving over toward Tift County, east of I-75, it is quiet right now, but that's not to say that you need to let your guard down. There is still the potential that we will continue with multiple rounds of severe weather for the rest of today.
And now we do have that a new tornado emergency extended now, including Americus, Cordele now, and Vienna as well. This is going to go until 2:15. Updating this for you guys as we speak.
So that does cover areas of northern Lee County, just north of Smithville, DeSoto over toward Cordele, and that's going to include Crisp and Dooley counties. Vienna included in the tornado emergency. That's that same tornado that's been on the ground for quite some time, moving through Sumter County, and so the tornado warning has been extended into areas of Dooley and Crisp counties, as well as northern Lee County, including DeSoto, Cordele, as well as Vienna. That storm is moving off toward the east, heading toward I-75. So if you're in any locations between Americus, Vienna, Cordele, and DeSoto, get to your safe area right now. Do not wait. Get to your interior room, bathroom, closet. Make sure you protect yourself. This is possibly a large and very dangerous tornado on the ground, continuing to move off toward the east and definitely it will cause quite a bit of destruction.
And you just prompted a question for me. Are we able to, at this point, know if this is the tornado stays on the ground, is it traveling from community?
Long track tornado,
Well,
yes.
The latest velocity scan actually shows a very good indication of a tornado now closer to the Americus area as well. So something that we're definitely concerned about. But I want to show you the areas that are now in front of this. Continuing with this tornado emergency for southern Dooley County, as well as southeast Sumter County and northwest Crisp County, which is what you see right here. So you guys, Vienna, Cordele, Highway 41, you definitely don't want to be traveling on I-75 right now. Take shelter. It's time for that. Now, it looks like that it's moving east at 35 miles an hour right now, so it's moved a little bit quicker. But this is still definitely a particularly dangerous situation. And this tornado was confirmed now over Maddox. So that's the area we were just showing you south of Americus. So this area still is where it looks like the tornado is. Kind of gives you an idea exactly where this yellow rotating arrow is where we think this tornado is. But the tornado emergency until 2:15 now for Sumter, Crisp, and Dooley County, including Cordele and Vienna. And I'm going to move that so you guys can see it a little better. I realized I didn't put it in the best place. And let's see here. The weather service is cutting in to television. We're still on Facebook Live, of course, as we continue with this tornado emergency that's moving through some of our northern counties right now. And this has been on the ground for quite some time. Let's see, any updates for you guys?
We have been talking to Sheriff Pete Smith, trying to get more information out of Sumter County, also trying to get in touch with Nigel Poole, who is the Emergency Management Director in Sumter County. Sheriff Smith told us that he's busy right now. He's actually moved his prisoners to a bottom floor at the jail to try to protect them. Of course, the Americus jail is right next to the Sumter County State Prison, so there are a number of prisoners right there in that same area. Sheriff Pete Smith moving the prisoners to try to protect them better. We've tried to get through an email to Nigel Poole and the phones and not getting any response so far, but we're working on that. I was just looking on Facebook. One of my Facebook friends is actually driving down US 19, number of trees down. He's shouldn't be doing that, but
no.
Driving down US 19,
wow,
apparently, and there are a number of trees down, and he's taking video of trees down, but the road was still open, and unfortunately there were other cars on the road with him as well. So,
well, hopefully everyone in Sumter County is in their safe area. This tornado warning has been in effect for quite some time now, and it has been extended until 2:15, not only for Sumter County, but it does include Crisp and Dooley counties, the cities of Americus, Cordele, and Vienna all need to be in your safe area. Anywhere along, if you live along Highway 280, along Highway 27, Highway 41, Highway 90. If you're in any of those locations, make sure that you are in your safe area. Do not go outside and try to see what's going on. This is a very large and potentially dangerous storm that's been on the ground for quite some time. And we know what type of damage these long track and very strong tornadoes can leave behind.
Yeah, and I'm just worried about the velocity gains that I'm seeing here moving through Americus. I almost have two different ones from what I'm seeing moving now into the eastern side of Sumter County. And of course, the tornado emergency goes until 2:15, Sumter, Crisp, Dooley County, including Americus, Cordele, and Vienna, which are a little further off toward the east. So now is your time in this area to get in your safe spot. I mean, go to the lowest level of your home. Go to the inside. You want to be in a bathroom, a closet. You hear it all the time, a safe spot, but you have to put that plan into action. You know, you practice this as kids in school, but today most of the kids out of school. So parents, now is your turn to protect your kids, put them in their safe spot, especially Sumter County, Crisp and Dooley as well, moving toward the Vienna area, and right now Leslie as well as Smithville under the gun with these severe storms, winds, potential of that tornado as well. So the latest location that we have for it would have been in Maddox, which is a little bit south of Americus. But from what I'm seeing here, we've also got, picking it up a little bit again here, it looks like it would be maybe in this area. So now you guys know in Crisp and Dooley County that you guys are next. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and try to show you exactly where this tornado is, break down some of these smaller towns that are going to be affected, as well as maybe some roads too. So it looks like Lamar, 27, a couple of the bigger roads there.
I was just looking at some video of viewer on Facebook. They are in Sumter County on Lee Street in Americus, and we're seeing some very heavy rainfall, and also trees are down on Lee.
We have Nigel Poole on the phone now.
Nigel Poole. So
EMA director in Sumter County.
okay, EMA director in Sumter County. So we are seeing, looking at some video from Nigel Poole, EMA director in Sumter County. Downtown Americus is being impacted by this potential tornado. Of course, there is a tornado emergency for Sumter County, Crisp and Dooley counties until 2:15. A larger tornado has been on the ground for quite some time, and of course, without a doubt, there will be damage in areas that it tracks across.
I believe we do have Nigel Poole, who is the EMA director in Sumter County right now, on the phone. Are we able to talk to him now? Nigel?
Yes, I'm here.
What can you tell us is going on?
I will tell you right now, we are still hunkered down watching this system pass in a tornado safe room. It seems to have been a fairly large system come through. I've not received any damage reports yet, but I know they will be incoming. We're still encouraging all of our residents in Sumter County and Crisp County and Dooley County to take cover and be very mindful of this storm.
I was going to ask you, Nigel, this is Carla, and I'm looking at your Facebook page, actually, in terms of your getting the word out and telling people to hunker down and to take shelter. And I see that you've got safe room locations for Sumter County?
Yes, ma'am. We do have safe room locations, but the time to get to those, Carla, was
right.
an hour ago.
Yes, no, I guess, is this something that you instituted after the previous tornado?
After our tornado in 2007, we did open two tornado safe rooms, one behind Georgia State Patrol Post 10 and one behind our health department there in Americus.
And when severe weather comes into your area, do people heed the warning now, usually?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I've received several reports that my tornado rooms our storm rooms are occupied and kind of crowded. These are not rooms that you'd have a good time in, Carla. These are rooms with no chairs, standing room only, but they're a strong, fortified structure that people can take shelter from the storm in.
How long have you had this storm going on there, would you say, Nigel?
We've been monitoring at our Emergency Operations Center all day. We've been preparing people for it all day, but the brunt of it really hit probably about an hour ago, and it's probably less than that. My feeling of time is a little skewed right now, but probably for the last 30 minutes at least, we've been under a pretty heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, ground lightning, and severe winds.
You have no reports, though, of any damage so far?
Not yet. I'm certain there will be incoming, but hopefully my residents and my employees here in the government have taken my advice and stayed salt shelter.
Nigel, I know you formerly work with the Red Cross. You've been around emergencies for a long time. You've seen a lot of storms like this over the years, and obviously you're recognizing that this is a very serious one right now.
Right, absolutely. And I'm just receiving word from my police chief. There is some localized flooding in some areas here in Sumter County. We just really need to advise the residents and the citizens of this area not to drive over any standing water and to treat, all standing water as if it's a mile deep,
Nigel, we appreciate you taking time to give us the update on what's happening in Americus and Sumter County. We're going to go back now to Yolanda and Andrew, keeping up with the latest, but keep us in mind, keep us in touch, and if anything you could send us to keep us informed, we would appreciate it very much.
Absolutely, Jim. We'll do that.
And before we talk with Yolanda and Andrew, I've just gotten a Facebook reminder for people who are in mobile homes. Of course, if you're in the midst of this right now, hopefully you got to shelter. But if you are ahead of this storm, if you are in a mobile home, you need to find a safe place to be.
Exactly. Mobile home definitely isn't where you want to be. Of course, if there are no storms in your area right now, hopefully you have staked out a safe place. Go ahead on. I would suggest that you go ahead on and go now. You'll be there for a few hours. These storms are expected to push on through later on this evening, and then you can return home safely. But for now, if you are in mobile homes, I would really think about getting to a safe place right now. These storms are expected to be very large, long track storms, and we do know that when we get storms this large, we know what happens when you're in a mobile home, possibly if one comes across your area. It really destroys one. So you don't want to be in a mobile home, definitely, if one of these long tracked and very strong tornadoes come across your area.
And as Nigel said, you don't want to wait too long. You want to get there before the storm hits, because going out of the storm is probably even worse. You want to get in that safe room now and stay there. If you see the track, you see what we're talking about, where these storms are now, but think about it. Now's the time to be planning ahead. If you're in South Georgia, these storms are going to continue through the night. This is the time to start thinking about your plan, getting yourself ready, knowing where you're going to go in case the storms are spotted near you, because this is going to be going on for a long time, and this is the time to be thinking about where you want to go to keep yourself safe, because there's only one chance to do it.
You're right, Jim. And once again, many areas right now are pretty quiet. However, there are more storms back off to the west, and those will be moving into South Georgia throughout the afternoon, early evening. And notice the tornado watch was extended, and it does cover just about all of South Georgia until 8 p.m. So still the potential for not only severe storms, but also tornadic activity. And very often we only have a few minutes before a warning is issued. So that's why it's very important that you have a plan and you know exactly what you're going to do once a warning is issued. But if you're in an area whereby you don't think that you're safe, just go ahead on, and I would leave now while things are pretty quiet.
Live right now, it appears that the rain has stopped.
Yeah, it looks like Valdosta, things are pretty quiet in your area, but that's not to say that there won't be storms moving your way later on this afternoon on into the evening.
So this is a live Facebook shot out of Americus, so it looks like it is pretty much ended up there.
Yeah, it looks like Americus beginning to quiet down as that potential tornado continues to move further off toward the east, toward Dooley and Crisp counties. Eastern Sumter County still impacted by that possible tornado. So still very active for this afternoon. This is not the end. Notice Albany pretty quiet, but there are storms back off to our west, and these storms could develop very quickly. So, you know, even though things aren't happening at this particular time, still the potential as we continue throughout the rest of this afternoon.
So we're still continuing with this tornado emergency until 2:15 now, getting a couple more storm reports in. Of course, a lot of damage coming with this. So let us see exactly where we think this circulation would be going now. 27 minutes left on this particular warning here. Crisp, Dooley, and Sumter County. Now, it looks like downtown Americus now out of this. The summer rotation showing up, and Leslie using the phone here to check some other weather information. Not texting like some of you guys think here, but we've got the tornado emergency for Sumter, Dooley, and Crisp County. So if you're in the Vienna and Cordele area, that's where we're looking at some of these storms starting to move into. So they're moving at about 35 miles an hour. You can see this little bowing out here as well. That's going to be some very strong wind on the leading edge of that as it pushes off to the east at 35 miles an hour with this confirmed tornado. It's destructive. It's been on the ground, last observed over Maddox near Americus, which is south of Americus, moving east at 35 miles an hour. A tornado emergency for southern Dooley, southeast Sumter, and northwest Crisp counties. And of course, the hazard with this would be a deadly tornado. Locations impacted, going to name a few of them for you guys. Americus, Cordele, Vienna, Leslie, Lilly, DeSoto, Cobb, Sumter, Lamar, the Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park, Richward, Huntington, Drayton, Maddox as well. So an extremely dangerous, large, potentially deadly tornado is on the ground. You need to take cover now. As this tornado moves into Crisp and Dooley County, it's going to progress off, continuing here off to the east at about 35 miles an hour. So you're running out of time in Crisp and Dooley County to get to your safe spots, because that's what you need to be doing right now. Lowest level of your home, interior room, whether that be a bathroom or a closet. And if you have a blanket, pillow, put them over your head, because that would protect you from flying debris as this tornado continues to push off toward the east again at 35 miles an hour, still in Sumter County, but getting very close to moving into Crisp and Dooley County. Do we have any other updates?
Go ahead.
Don't mean to bother you. There we have reports in Sumter County on Stu Rogers Road, a tree on a house on Rogers Road. I believe it's Steve Rogers Road, excuse me, in Sumter County, a tree on a house. We're now trying to
Sam Rogers.
I apologize. Sam Rogers Road in Sumter County, a tree on a house. We're now trying to get in touch with more law enforcement to get an update.
And we will be talking shortly with Eric Bryant, Chief Law Enforcement Officer there, for an update on this as well.
And we're also getting, you got some Facebook or some emails in from friends of Americus?
Well, yeah, friends of a friend texting me and telling me that the power has gone out at their home in Americus. And one of our floor crew just went outside, and they say that outside of our studios it's looking rather dark and it's feeling rather warm, and it just seems like the right ingredients are developing for us here in Albany.
Yeah, let's zoom back out. There are storms west of Albany. Right now they are moving through Randolph County. There is some indication of hail. Areas of northern Early County, indications according to our storm tracks, seeing some possible hail there. But there are some storms west of Albany, and of course these have been moving off toward the east and northeast throughout this afternoon. Let me get the radar on here so you can see exactly what's happening. The storms around Americas right now, this is what we are still watching, and these storms now moving toward Dooley and Crisp counties. Here's a line of storms that is heading toward Dougherty County, and we'll put a little track on there. Edison, Morgan, Arlington, Albany, say within the next 30 to 45 minutes. Looks like that line of storms will be pushing our way. Right now, no warnings on that particular area of thunderstorms, but that's not to say that will not change.
Okay, and we just got another request, and I think you've addressed it. 2:37 is when, tornado warning in our area, or what is that? They're asking about when the expected storm should be here in Albany or Dougherty County?
Well, I think that's not the important thing right now, because we still have this tornado emergency going on. These storms down here, they're not severe, so not yet. They could be, but as we still look at Dooley County, toward Vienna and Cordele, that's where this tornado is heading into right now, and this is the confirmed potentially deadly and dangerous tornado. So I think this is kind of the area just now toward the east of Americus that's got that potentially dangerous situation there with this confirmed tornado that we've been going on with now for over an hour. And you can see the bowing here. Of course, that indicates a very strong wind moving toward Vienna and Cordele. So these are the areas that we need to really pay attention to. Highway 280 as well, moving off toward the east at 35 miles an hour. So that leading edge would get to Drayton at 155. Also at 201, it would get to Lilly at 206 Vienna. 211 would be whenever it approaches Cordele, and then past that would be past the warning. So we're going to see if that gets reissued, but we're still looking at this tornado emergency that is going on. It's been ongoing. We've got damage confirmed with this. Now we're warning the folks here ahead of it, because if you live out in the Cordele area, Vienna area, you guys still have time to get in a safe spot. But as this storm approaches I-75, a heavily traveled highway here, this storm is going to get closer to it, and I think that if there's any 18-wheelers on this, we could expect some of those to get blown over, especially some of the higher profile vehicles as this storm continues to push off toward the east.
Andrew, right now we have the Sumter County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Eric Bryant on the phone with us. Deputy Bryant, what can you tell us is going on so far up in Sumter County?
Right now, we've had a lot of rain up here in Sumter County. No damage has been reported. We're primarily checking our southwestern section of the county. We did have a lot of rain and a lot of wind, but no damage has been reported at this point. We're just assessing those areas and, of course, watching out for our residents on the east side of the county as well.
Did you lose power in Americus there?
We did not lose power here at the Sheriff's Office. Power did pop off, but it come right back on. So thankfully we have not lost any power, and again, no structural damage or trees down at this moment.
That's very good news. How about safe houses? Did you have people take advantage of those?
Yes, matter of fact, both of our tornado shelters was actually occupied. We actually had deputies that actually took shelter to both of them during the time the storm was actually passing through, and they are both have people occupying both shelters.
How long?
Not sure of that capacity, but they are still there.
How long would you say this storm lasted there where you were?
I would guesstimate this rain came in 30, 45 minutes of heavy rain and wind that we actually maintained people in safe positions throughout the buildings and, of course, in the shelters, at least 30 minutes.
We got calls about a tree on top of the house on Sam Rogers Road. What part of Sumter County is that in?
That's in the southwestern section of the county. However, we did have units to check out, and the house is okay. There appeared to be very minor damage to a shed out there in that area, but no damage to the house at all.
So what's the situation right now in America since the rain ended?
Right now, the rain has ended, but since you and I have been on the phone, the rain has started back very lightly, but that's all we have at this point, just light rain.
That is very good news that you're reporting to us, Chief Deputy. We appreciate it very much, and I'm glad that everybody took shelter. But you know this is not over yet.
Exactly, and that's what we're telling our residents, to still maintain a safe position within their homes or businesses, because the system is steadily coming through.
All right, this is a Chief Deputy Eric Bryant from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office telling us they've had no reports of damage so far except a couple of trees down in the southern part of the county. In Americus right now, light rain only, but lots of rain and wind coming through. But so far, no reports of damage, and I take it no reports of anybody being injured or hurt.
And that's correct.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, that's good news, Jim, as this was, of course, an emergency that was issued by the National Weather Service. That tornado, it was a confirmed, a large and destructive tornado that was observed near Americus, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So that's really good news if there was no damage left behind, and definitely no injuries from this particular dangerous storm that is continuing to move off toward the east into areas of Dooley and Crisp counties.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Deputy. Keep us in touch, and we want to keep. We hope that that's the worst of it so far, but we want to stay on top of these events throughout the rest of the evening, and I know you're telling that to your folks.
Yeah, Jim, as that storm, we still have the tornado warning in effect until 2:15. Of course, for that particular storm, very dangerous tornado that was confirmed, and it is moving away from Americus, now moving into areas of eastern Sumter County, western areas of Dooley and Crisp counties. Next in line, larger area of Vienna, and then it is just outside of Cordele. So things will go downhill in those locations as we move through the next, say, 45 minutes or so. So things are still rather intense, especially in those areas of Sumter, Crisp, and Dooley counties. The rest of Southwest Georgia, many locations are pretty quiet right now. However, there are storms back off to our west. There are no warnings on any other storms at this particular time, but a tornado watch does cover most of South Georgia until 8 p.m., and meaning that we still have the potential for tornadic activity along with severe storms continuing throughout the afternoon on into our Wednesday evening. Now, if you are in Valdosta, things are quiet, maybe a few raindrops heading your way, but moving into Dougherty County, we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms back off to our west. Those are not far away, getting in on some showers in Dougherty County right around Albany, but thunderstorms are continuing across areas of Randolph, Early counties right now. Quitman County and Clay counties all pushing toward the east and northeast. So we will have some activity in terms of moderate to heavy rainfall, some thunderstorms shortly into Dougherty County, but for now, there are no other warnings in effect. The exception is the warning that remains for areas of Sumter, Dooley, and Crisp counties, and that is a tornado warning that extends until, let's put the timing on here for you, until 2:15. So the tornado warning still in effect. And as we heard from emergency management officials in Sumter County, so far, no damage being reported nor any injuries from what was a confirmed and very large tornado moving through areas of Sumter County, particularly the Americus area. And that same storm is still on a path toward the east, heading toward Vienna, heading toward Cordele, moving eastward toward I-75.
And it looks like we still have about 15 minutes left on this as this tornado now haven't had a confirmation on its last location here in a bit, but it looks like it is potentially moving into these areas that we've been talking about out of Sumter County now and moving into Crisp and Dooley. So it is going into an area. Leslie also looks like it still could potentially have some strong wind in that area, moving more so out of Americus, but toward Leslie, toward Vienna, toward Cordele. And if you're in Cordele, you'll notice that it's not even raining yet, but it's going to move pretty quickly. When it's going to change, the weather's going to change very fast. You're going to have the winds pick up. You're going to have that tornado potentially move toward your area. So what we're looking at velocity-wise here, when we're picking up this tornado signature, once again, it appears to be about 5 or 6 miles to the east of Vienna. That's one location that we're looking at. One of the possible problem spots we're looking at right now would be more so in the area off to the east of Vienna. So let's move in to this area. As you see, the Drayton area is probably getting a lot of wind, potentially some damage right now, as well as Lilly going toward Richwood. And this is going to continue here as we go for about 13 more minutes, but it will probably be reissued here if this tornado is confirmed still on the ground. And we haven't received many updates here from our partners at the National Weather Service, but you can see that rotation starting to pick back up there. About 5-6 miles to the west of Vienna, moving toward the Richwood area. It's definitely approaching I-75 north of Cordele, so that's the new area that we're getting a little bit worried about. And it's hard to get the best picture of these velocities and storms because we're dealing with some radar outages out of our control here across the southeast. So for right now, what we're dealing with is this tornado emergency. And it looks like we might have some new information here as we get some pictures sent in. We've got some video here we're going to try to get to you guys as well.
This is from the Cordele Police Chief, Rodriguez, who picked this picture up in northeast Chris County, I believe is what I understand. That's where this is from.
Okay, so it definitely looks like a potential for a funnel cloud in that area. At the very least, moving toward the Vienna area and out of Sumter County is what we're looking at now. Finally moving out of the Sumter County area. South of Lilly, but still to the west of Vienna is where it looks like this right now where that location would be for this tornado. And I don't really need to remind you guys that this dangerous situation of a tornado emergency, because this was issued by the National Weather Service of a confirmed large destructive tornado last officially observed over Maddox, which was south of Americus. Now we're all the way over closer to Vienna. And so it's a definitely long track tornado if it's been on the ground for this entire time. Some of the cities that have been or will be affected: Americus, Cordele, Vienna, Leslie, Lilly, DeSoto, Cobb, Sumter, Lamar, and as well as the Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park, Richwood, Huntington, Drayton, of course, it said Maddox as well. So this is the time to take cover now because as where this tornado is moving now, and the places you need to start taking shelter, the rain's going to be starting to pick up. So that will be your indication to get in that safe spot. No more staying outside taking pictures because we're getting closer to having this tornado move over I-75 and closer to Vienna and north of Cordele as well. Lots of lightning with these storms as we're looking as well. It looks like Highway 230, and of course you've got 41 there that leads into Vienna, some of the major roadways in the area that we're worried about. So the tornado emergency now continuing for this area. The latest update we're going to have for you guys: tornado emergency continues for Cordele, Vienna, and Lilly until 2:15.
All right, Andrew, right now we've got the Chris County Sheriff Billy Hancock on the phone with us right now from Cordele. Sheriff Hancock, can you tell us what's going on, sir?
Yes, sir. At current, we don't have any damage reported in the north section of the county. Now, we do have, however, some citizens report of seeing a funnel cloud, if people are familiar with Cordele, in the Helena Chemical Company area, north of Helena Chemical. So that would be approaching Highway 41, somewhere around the county line, just south of the Crisp-Dooley line. Deputies up there say that the weather is so bad at the moment that they can't see any rotation because of the rain. They're experiencing severe ground of sky lightning in that area. And we had one picture, I think that Chief Rodriguez may have sent us, I'm not sure you had that actually showed what looked like rotation on the ground.
You said that the lightning is very extreme up there right now.
Yeah, you could stand here at the operations center and look north and see just a considerable amount of lightning, and the deputies that are in that area are telling us that they're seeing heavy lightning up in the north part of the county.
Obviously, this is a very serious situation right now. Do you have people in safe rooms there in Cordele? You have areas for people to get out of the way of the storm in case of?
We do. We've had some people call, and we've encouraged them to go to the courthouse and any government building they know of, the government center, the courthouse. All the members of public safety are gathered here at the operations center as we watch what we think is a tornado that's just kind of up in the air, rain wrapped. So I encourage the people in Dooley County, in Crisp County, probably around I-75 now and east of I-75 to really go ahead and
go to their safe area in their house or whatever their safe plan is, because it wouldn't take but just a minute for this event to change.
Obviously, that is a point of danger right there. As the storm heads towards 75, people might not be aware of what they're driving into.
That's correct. And with the amount of rain that's coming and going down as well, you're not going to see this tornado. That's what the deputies are saying. They can't see the rotation because of the heavy rain.
And you were saying that so far you thought that they saw, what they could see was at the top of the trees. That way they did not see it on the ground.
Right. Do not see it on the ground, and we don't have any report of damage in that area at the moment.
Okay, Sheriff Hancock, we appreciate it very much. Thanks for keeping us informed of what's going on. Please stay with us here and let us know what's going on there in Crisp County and in Dooley County. A very serious situation. We appreciate it. You stay safe and your deputies too.
Jim, they're telling me a police officer has spotted the tornado on the ground between Dooley and Crisp. What's the cross? Right there at I-75. So
tornado has been spotted on the ground near I-75?
Yes, sir, at the Crisp-Dooley line.
At the Crisp-Dooley line. So is there any thoughts of telling the State Patrol to try to hold cars up, and stop them coming down?
Well, that's probably going on. We're working as hard as we can now and putting out information out of the operations center. So yeah, we'll make sure that there's somebody in that area pretty shortly.
So people in Cordele, take a very close watch of this right now. A police officer has spotted a tornado on the ground at the Crisp-Dooley County line right near I-75 there. It's a very dangerous situation. Sheriff Hancock, thank you very much for keeping us informed.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And quickly, before we go to Andrew, 2 bits of information I want to share. Lee County government offices are closed to the public. I believe the employees are there, but they want to let the public know that those offices are closed. Also, the ground stop in Atlanta has been lifted, but if you know anybody that's getting a flight out of there, or if you're heading that way, there are still delays due to the weather. You need to check with your airlines directly on the flight times. I'm about to leave my post right now. Melissa Hodges will be here shortly to join you, and as we continue to follow this developing weather situation across southwest Georgia on this Wednesday. But still, people ahead of this storm, you've got the warnings. We've told you, find your shelter, go over your plan.
And if you're not in this particular area where you see this, if you're watching this, remember this is a long-standing weather event for the night. Remember this, go ahead and make your plans right now in case that you might be in a situation a little later tonight. It's better to be ready than to not be ready, and that is the main thing that we cannot say too much right now.
And our weather team does a wonderful job of projecting once they receive the information, because again, people are on edge because of January. So we are still receiving candy and have that plan and stay safe, everybody.
Right now, let's go to some video that Chief Rodriguez from the Cordele Police Department took. This is in upper Crisp County, I understand, and there you can see what appears to be a rotation of a tornado. Andrew, what do you think about that?
Definitely looks like you got a shelf cloud there and a funnel. With that tree line you see there as the cars go by, you can't really tell if it's touching the ground, but definitely a great potential for that to be a tornado. And just real quickly, the latest update we have with this is the tornado warning remains in effect for Dooley and Crisp counties. A confirmed large and destructive tornado located near Drayton, near Vienna, moving east at 35 miles an hour. This is obviously a particularly dangerous situation, and take cover now. It's about to cross over I-75, so it'd be nice if we could get that closed there. We don't want any 18-wheelers or cars blown off, but definitely, folks in this area, you are in a life-threatening situation. So we're looking at 120 knots of rotation on the storm in Dooley County, just to the west of Vienna. So definitely a lot of rotation with this storm. 120 knots. It's a very I mean, if that could even just be a little bit above the ground, that could produce a little bit of damage even at the tree line. So we're still looking at this storm west of Vienna, moving off to the east at 35 miles an hour. And now you can see our computers picked up early rotation to the west of Vienna. Of course, it's still moving east at about 35 miles an hour. And this will set to expire in about 4 minutes, but with the 120 knots of rotation, I can imagine we're going to have this warning extended, especially as this gets closer to passing over I-75 here within the next 5 to 10 minutes, as it goes first through the town of Vienna, south of Lilly. So those are the areas that we're really worried about right now, would be where you see that early rotation south of Lilly and to the west there of Vienna, moving toward Vienna. It's moving toward the east there.
And as Sheriff Hancock's deputies said, they saw this storm. They were in this storm in the northeast portion of Crisp County, so they were not very far from this area right now. They saw heavy rain, high winds, and intense lightning, and of course all three of them very dangerous situations. And we saw that video there from Chief Rodriguez. This is, obviously we are seeing some tornadic activity, and a police officer said that he did see the tornado on the ground. So this is definitely a very serious situation here in Dooley County now.
Well, it also looks like we're getting tornado debris signatures just north of 27 there, going through the Vienna area by Lilly. So that's not what you want to see. When you see debris signatures, it looks like, that would be debris brought up into the atmosphere, recognized by the radar. So I would say tornado on the ground for sure. Now moving in toward the area of Vienna. So now we've got a new tornado warning that'll be popping up here momentarily, including Vienna, of course, Pineview and Lilly. This one goes until 3 o'clock, and you can see just popped up there on the screen with a little further out there. Now it's getting on the edge of our viewing area. Sure, there's still some folks out here that are still worried about this. Probably still get us. So this one would be Dooley, Wilcox, Pulaski County, moving east at 20. Now this will just be the tornado producing storm itself, radar confirmed tornado. It's likely to cause lots of damage, and the locations as we progress past this tornado emergency would be hitting areas of Vienna, Pineview, Pinehurst, Lilly, Wallace, Tippetville, Mock Springs, and also Pope City in that area, and Fennelson as well. So now the main thing is that the rotation with the tornado still near the Vienna area right now. So, excuse me, I want to do this. All right, so we still have this tornado emergency until 2:15 though, so we're still worried about this storm that's moving into the Vienna area, about right here. This is where we're picking up the debris signature that was north of a Highway 27 there, and really just impressive rotation at 120 knots picked up there. So we're still with this tornado emergency until 2:15. So we're staying with you as this moves off to the east at about 30 to 35 miles an hour with that impressive velocity. So that just expired as we hit 2:15, waiting to see if we come up with another tornado emergency now, or just the regular tornado warning will be in effect that we have. So right now it looks like they could be working on reissuing that. So let's zoom in here on the areas that getting it. We're looking at south of Lilly, between Vienna and Richwood as well, would be where this tornado warning is. So let's see here. 3 o'clock is when this tornado warning is set to expire, still moving off to the east at 20 miles an hour here. But we do have that radar confirmed tornado.
Oh, and you say this tornado activity is moving toward the east. It's not going north, it's moving to the east is what people need to see.
Correct, and it's moving toward I-75, which is very concerning because anyone that's from South Georgia, and really all of Georgia, south of Atlanta, knows that 75 is the road you take if you're traveling in between Atlanta and South Georgia for the most part. So we could have some heavy traffic moving through this area that if this is a rain-wrapped tornado, they could be looking off and just seeing that hey, maybe it's raining really hard over there, but in fact, it could be this tornado that's moving east toward 75. So we're thinking it's moving this way right now at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. So we've been covering this now going on 2 hours. So if this tornado has been on the ground for that long, it definitely, I mean, long track tornadoes were in the forecast for today. Unfortunately, it panned out. But thankfully, something that we have not received yet are reports of injuries. So that is some good news to pass along to you folks. But still, the threat not over. Tornado right now would be moving into the Vienna area. As I take another look here at this tornado, looks like it's becoming very close to that rotation moving toward I-75. Almost on top of it at this point. So hoping for the best as we look over I-75 right now with where that potential tornado, you kind of see this inflow notch is that could be. So the tornado probably in this area right now about to go over I-75 as it moves toward the east. So this is where we're looking at the potential for that tornado moving right about here. Looks like it's going over 41 as well. So we've got another radar scan. I still think it would be in this area going towards 75 with a pretty decent looking velocity scan there showing an indication of this potential for a tornado moving over 75. But now we've got this tornado warning that lasts until 3 o'clock with this particular one. I don't believe that it's an emergency. Let's find out. I'll correct myself if I need to. This one, we've got let's see. Tornado producing storm still. I mean, it's the same information we've got here. The tornado producing storm located near Vienna moving east at 20. So the damaging tornado is really the main threat, but also we've added this threat of hail as well. So you get winds of 120 knots that were at one point produced with this storm, the history of this storm. Now you add hail into the mix of that, and it definitely is not something that you want to see as this continues to push over the I-75 area now, Dooley County, moving over the Vienna area, but eventually is going to continue pushing off to the east toward Pulaski and Wilcox County.
Andrew, it says it's moving at 20 miles an hour according to the National Weather Service. Is that quick? Is that slow? What is that impact will that have that it's on the ground?
Well, typically, that's actually a little bit on the slow side for tornado. So if it's only moving at 20 miles an hour, which is indicated here, it's technically would do more damage in that area that it's sitting on or moving slowly. They're only at 20 miles an hour, but we saw that you could have a tornado moving at 70 miles an hour do a lot of damage as well. So thankfully, this particular tornado doesn't look as strong as what we had dealt with in January, but 20 miles an hour, it's a rather slow-moving tornado, which is over the Vienna area right now, going toward I-75 again. I can't stress enough to you guys that this is still a very dangerous situation. The only tornado warning we have right now includes the counties of Dooley, Wilcox, and Pulaski, and that still goes until 3 o'clock. So a little ways to go here. Tornado would be in this area, but we are picking up 3 potential early indications of rotation here across the area too. So there's a long way to go with this afternoon. Still looks like we have the potential for these more tornadoes later on. Hopefully we're not going to have any long track tornadoes, but where you see the early rotation near the Vienna area is where we think this tornado is on the ground at this point, moving over I-75. So
obviously that's a very dangerous situation on I-75. We're looking at some pictures. We're trying to get up the cameras from the Georgia Department of Transportation all along the expressway, and what we're seeing right now is cars still moving south apparently. So that's very troubling right now, but hopefully that threat will be will be gone over pretty soon. That's the main thing we're hoping, is that it's moving quick enough to be able to move past that area quickly.
Right, you know, you definitely don't want it to go over too fast, but, you know, really, if it's moving at 20 miles an hour and it goes over 75, it's only going to be a matter of seconds, depending on how quickly it's moving. But from our latest indication, it does appear that the tornado actually just moved over 75 or is right on top of it. So that's what we're looking at right now, is just on or just now toward the east of I-75 past Vienna. So we're going to check on areas such as Lilly, south of Lilly going into Vienna, where we really think that we saw these tornado signatures with the confirmed tornado. Check on the areas that have already had damage, and really hope that we don't get any reports of any injuries out of this.
Now, reminding people what we've seen before, we have talked to Nigel Poole, who was the emergency management director in Sumter County. He said at the time that they were coming out of their safe rooms, they did not have any reports of damage or any injuries back in Sumter County. That was the good news. We talked to Sheriff Hancock. They were just getting out of the storm's area, and he so far was saying they have seen tornadoes on the ground, but they have, and they have pictures of them they have sent us, but lightning, hard rain, and wind so far, trees on top of houses on Sam Rogers Road, but so far we don't have any reports of damage that would be remarkable right now. This is going through a pretty rural area, so we haven't had a great deal of reports of damage so far, so that's the good news. But definitely, like you said, coming up to Vienna, there is a great deal of, you're seeing on the radar, an impact on the ground, so this is something that's very concerning. People to the east of this, remember, this is moving to the east, and people need to know that this is coming their way. Mobile homes, people in homes there, in mobile homes, there are areas there they have that they can move to. They need to do it because this is the time.
Right, and when this warning that we're looking at right now, it encompasses approximately 7,700 people, but within that you've got 3 schools. I can't tell you for sure if these schools are in session or not. I imagine not, because a lot of areas here in southwest Georgia have canceled school. Really across the southeast, a lot of people, even big colleges, have been canceling classes for the day. So hopefully everyone is safe, as this tornado now looks like it is progressed over 75 and continuing to move off toward the east. So still staying with this. On the leading edge here, this is where you're going to see the strongest wind outside of what you would have with the tornado. Probably 50, 65 isolated 70-mile-an-hour wind possible with this as well. But now the latest indication from the radar has the tornado more in this area right here where the blue arrow is pointing to, and that's moving a little further away from the viewing area here, but we're still looking at this notch that is, you can kind of see the red come in a little bit, curve off to the left. That could potentially be where we're looking at this tornado to be, or at least the funnel cloud, the rotation possible that could drop down and have that tornado. That is the reason why we have the tornado warning, is the area that's got this blue arrow here pointing toward it, off toward the west there, but it's moving this way toward the east at 20 miles an hour. As some of these other rotation signs start to drop off, I think this northernmost early rotation indicator is the one that we're worried about with this severe storm moving in. Now, other areas around southwest Georgia, you know, they've got severe thunderstorm warnings right now as well, and it looks kind of, you know, anytime you see the reds, the oranges, and the yellows on the radar, you think that, you know, man, we're about to get hit by a bad storm. But really, the only other severe thunderstorm right now in all of South Georgia is this area right here that includes Cordele and Pitt, counties of Wilcox, Dooley, and Crisp. So with that storm to the south, where you see the yellow box, that goes until 3 o'clock as well. We expect the 60-mile-an-hour winds with the $50 size hail possible with that as well. But that's not really the main threat at all. I just wanted to let you know that we're not really worried about anything else in southwest Georgia right now, because none of the other storms are severe. What we are more worried about, even though it's on the fringes of our viewing area here, would be this tornado warning that includes Pulaski, Wilcox, and Dooley County, with this tornado-producing storm moving off toward the east. Now, the tornado was originally, with this warning, located near Vienna. Now it looks like it's past Vienna, but now it's continuing to move off to the east. Again, it's going a little bit slow, so that's why you have the shorter looking warnings. If you had a very fast-moving storm or tornado, you would be having those very long and narrow warning boxes, but here there's kind of stubby, so that indicates a slower moving storm, which looks like, I mean, we've had that. It's actually slowed down a bit. It started out about 40 miles an hour 2 hours ago. Now it's almost half that, so could be potentially losing a little bit of juice here. And I don't know for a fact if this, where I think the tornado here is now, I don't know for a fact that, so we've been on this potential tornado for 2 hours now, and with these supercells cycling, you don't know that it's been on the ground that whole time. So that's something that we'll have to, the Weather Service will have to go out and survey. So let me give you an idea of where this storm started. This was way back Randolph County, so going on 60 miles now that we've been following this tornado warning. Of course, 60 miles, 30 minutes, you got 2 hours there. So that's where we're at with this storm, and it still indicates a bit of a notch, an inflow notch, which is when you're looking at a radar, would show a indication of a tornado. So this is where we're looking at right now. Let me see if we've got any other cities that are going to pop up in this area. It's as Jim mentioned earlier, it's a pretty rural area, so it doesn't look like too many areas will be impacted by this, but I'm going to time it out anyways, and that'll pop up some more areas. I'm going to time it out a little fast as well, so that it would give people a little bit of extra warning. So this is at 30 miles an hour. If the tornadoes in this area moving east, see not too many towns picking up there with Tippetville and Finnelson. 235 for Tippetville, and 248 would be for Finnelson, with this potential tornado still moving off toward the east, slower now at about 20 miles an hour. So we're working on getting these damage reports, since we've had tornado warnings for 60 miles now. That's 60 miles potential for damage, not necessarily 60 miles of a tornado on the ground, but it's content now. We've just got an update on the radar scan here, and you can definitely still see that kind of a notched area moving toward the Tippetville area as well. So let's see here. You still see the indication of rotation here. So this would be where we think in this area where that potential tornado would be. We don't have any updates now from the National Weather Service. We're just riding this out with you guys, with the tornado warning extending until 3 o'clock for Pulaski, Wilcox, and Dooley County. Again, this tornado-producing storm moving to the east at 20 miles an hour. So, let's see, do we have any other updates from any of the other counties? I guess that's probably something that the news department...
We're trying to ask right now back in Sumter County and in Crisp County, looking for any damage. We have not received any reports yet, but our reporters are working very hard right now, calling and trying to get the latest updates, and I'm sure they'll bring them to us here on air as soon as we get them. Right now, we're trying to get together with people, and if people do have pictures of any of the storm going through, we don't want you to go outside to take pictures, but if you can send them to pics@WALB.com, give us the latest information when it's safe to take pictures. If you have any damage, if you have any thing that you can show us about what's happening, pics, PIX@WALB.com is the place to see it, and we'll be able to look at it and obviously also share it with our viewers.
Right, and it does look like the rotation here is, well, I say that it looks like it's weakening, but velocity scan still shows a pretty good indication of a potential tornado here as well. So still not surprised to have a tornado in this area as well. So still moving pretty slow here. It's a slow mover, a lot different than a different situation. That's why you can't really compare two severe weather events to each other, because this really is not like exactly what we had in January that everyone wanted to ask. Is this going to be like January, the first storm and the second? Well, neither. You know, it's a kind of a different setup. So every storm is kind of its own creature, and that's what we're dealing with today. As we continue with this severe thunderstorm warning as well as tornado warning as it moves out of southwest Georgia here pretty quickly. I think we're getting on the fringes of the viewing area. Let's see what the latest is from the National Weather Service once again.
Obviously going toward Wilcox County, is that correct?
Right.
It's still headed straight east. So,
right, it is still, you know, the last update we've had was almost 20 minutes ago with this tornado potentially moving east. It's still at only about 20 miles an hour, and we still have 28 minutes left on this warning because it is such a slow mover. Not going to get out of the area as quick as some of the others. Now, back in Lumpkin, where this started, some people talking about a potential structure fire and lightning strike caused by it. So that's something that the news department can get to looking at as well, because we definitely want to make sure that everyone's okay in that area. So, let's see here. This would kind of be the area we're looking at. The potential tornado would be got Pinehurst a little further up to the north there. So this would be the area that we think that tornado would be in, and that highway is 27 there. And earlier to the north of 27 is where we saw a tornado debris signature, which would indicate kind of where potentially some debris would get lofted up inside the storm, get picked up on radar, and we can see that as a tornado debris signature, saying, you know, whether that's branches, it could be shingles, it could be a big variety of things, rather. And so this storm, it definitely has the history of, I mean, obviously we've been talking about it for 2 hours now, of producing tornadoes. So it's almost out of the viewing area, but we're going to stick with it here for the last little bit. I don't know if you have any new updates now.
I do, Andrew. This is Melissa Hodges. I'm here joining you and Jim on the set, and I just received a text from the Americus police chief, Mark Scott, and he says right now they are not hearing of any major damage so far in Americus, but he is reporting that trees and power lines are down in Americus. Chief Scott also says that some homes are damaged, and so that's what we know right now out of Americus and Sumter County. That's an area that tornado or possible tornado seem to be hovering, seem to take a long time passing through, an extraordinarily long time, Andrew.
Right, and there's also more south of Americas as well, so I would expect the majority of the damage to be in the southern part of Sumter County, as well as in some of those other areas that were under that tornado emergency, because Sumter County was under that for a good bit. As we continue to ride out the end of this tornado warning, continuing to move out of the viewing area, but even with some of these storms, you could have gusty winds, 60 miles an hour, quarter-size hail possible as we go throughout the day. To give you an idea of what else is going on here, still under that tornado watch for these red-shaded counties through the evening until 8 o'clock. So you can see the viewing area here. We're just on the very northern fringes of it. I think maybe after it cuts out of this county, we'll have to decide how long we're going to stick with it. But past well to the east now of Pinehurst, now moving more so toward the Wallace area and into Hawkinsville on the south side of town toward Wallace now. Between, I guess it's more so closer to Hawkinsville, but in between there and Pineview is where we're looking at this potential rotation.
just got a report from Sheriff Hancock over in Crisp County asking about damage updates, and he said so far the damage has been very minor, are the reports that we're getting in right now from Crisp County. So that's very good news as well.
That's very good. And I will say this, you know, some radars are down in the area, so we don't get as good of a picture of these storms, and, you know, same radars that other National Weather Service and other people use, so we're not getting the best picture of some of these storms today. But of course, we've already had confirmed tornadoes here, so very, you know, verified for us to have these tornado warnings. But we could be getting a better picture of it, and, you know, doing the best we can with this. But now we're showing some rotation go closer toward Hawkinsville. Jim, are you familiar with the area up there?
Obviously, it's right off I-75 going up toward Hawkinsville. That is a large, as you can see from the road maps on your map there. There are a lot of roads that go into Hawkinsville from every direction. 341, 129. That's a major thoroughfare for a lot of people if they're headed to Augusta, if they're headed to Savannah from the south. A lot of people will go through Hawkinsville. So this is an area that people need to be thinking about that right now. They don't need to be in their cars now. They need to be thinking about getting out of their home, out of their mobile homes, getting out of their cars and finding a safe area there, because this is still a tornado warning right now. There is a tornado. We don't know if it's on the ground or not, but it's obviously moving.
Right, and you know, it's got the history of producing a tornado here, and as this really starts moving out of the viewing area, I don't honestly know where the end of the viewing area would be, and if we need to go back to some other information for you guys, but we're now starting to see this line of thunderstorms move through the rest of southwest Georgia. So, well, look at that. We've got a tornado warning now. This is for including Leesburg. Now this one goes until 3 o'clock, and we're going to focus on this because this is definitely in the viewing area, whereas the other one was questionable. So now all our attention, including Leesburg, now under that tornado warning that lasts until 3. So northwest Turner County, central Lee County, Worth County as well under this tornado warning that is going to go on here for about 22 minutes or so. So this severe thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. It was located near Leesburg, but this one's moving a little quicker. So the further south you get on this line, the little quicker they're moving here. East at 40 miles an hour. The hazard is obviously a tornado along with half dollar size hail. The source being radar indicated, meaning we don't have confirmation on this yet, but that's where it's looking like the possible rotation in Lee County would be. So getting in a little bit more populated areas, as well as might hear the thunder over the studio here in Albany as well.
And I have an update as well. We've been in constant contact with people in Lee County, and Mike Sistrunk, who is the Lee County co-manager there, has just texted me to say that they have opened their EOC operations in Lee County so far. There's a little flooding that's north the county line that's there, Lee County, Sumter County, Andrew. But I know right now they're hunkering down. There's a tornado warning in Leesburg, and we will let you know what we're hearing out of Leesburg here shortly, Andrew.
Right, we're going to stay on top of this, and I do see what looks like a good area of rotation now on the TV side of things. The National Weather Service Emergency Alert System has taken over. We're still on Facebook Live. It looks like really just over downtown, maybe a mile toward the northeast of Leesburg is where this rotation is now. Toward the Starksville area as well is where we're looking at this tornado warning. And the latest update we can give you on this is it's also getting a bit close to Cheehaw as well, but if it continues on this path, it should go on the north side as the power begins to flicker here at the lightning.
Obviously heavy lightning. We're seeing, hearing a lot of wind outside, seeing some Facebook pictures of very dark clouds going. Had one person about 5 minutes ago show dark clouds going over Westover Road, heading to, like you say, heading in that area toward Lee County in a pretty fast state right now. This lightning, this thunder moved in very quickly here.
And
right.
And the lights are starting to flicker here even at the station in northwest Albany, which is south of where some of this area is right now that's under the tornado warning. And
what we're concerned about with this one is, of course, it's in Leesburg, being a populated town, not a tornado emergency, but Turner County, Lee County, Worth County, that's where we're looking at this possible rotation going to right now, just off to the northeast of Leesburg. Eventually that would go south of Starksville toward Philema as well. See if I could get a direction. This moving east at 40 miles an hour, so this one going a little bit quicker than some of the other tornado warnings that we have had for today.
And of course, that quick movement, that could, what does that tell us about these storms?
Well, I think the further you get south on this line of thunderstorms, they're going to speed up a little bit. They're getting a lot of moisture and winds coming in from the south. But what you need to know about this one being 40 miles an hour is that you don't have as much time as if it was moving 20 miles an hour. So this one is definitely going to be sneaking up on you a little bit on the quick side. So specifically for the tornado warning we're looking at right now, it includes Leesburg, Warwick, Dakota. The population is just over 10,000 for this tornado warning, and 8 schools are in this tornado warning. So if you live in Philema, Warwick, Leesburg, you guys need to be taking shelter now. Getting pretty close to the Cheehaw area as well, so that's not something you want to see. But I think, I really think that it's going to go north of that area, so I'm not so much concerned with that. But Philema, Starksville, Davis Mill, and Warwick, you guys are under the gun now with this tornado warning that's going until 3 o'clock. And I'm going to name a few more areas that this is affecting or will affect. Let's see here, we've got Philema, Dakota, Sibley, Mossy Dell, Oakfield, Worth County, Warwick, and Starksville. So we got our latest update on that, and it definitely appears to have a better inflow notch or a signature for a possible tornado on this is what we've been worried about. So maybe in this area here, as that last scan came in.
Andrew, can you take off the watch, the warning there, so we can get a better idea of what's on the radar right now? And there's that particular cell right now that is currently making its way toward moving away from Highway 19, northern areas of Lee County, just to the north of Leesburg. This is where we are seeing some of the stronger activity in association with this tornado warning that has been issued for areas of Lee County. Notice as we move off toward the east, the leading edge of all of this, moderate to heavy rainfall. But if you walk outside, of course, the sky has been darkening for the past hour or so, but now we are getting those strong and intense storms, possibly a tornado starting to make its way through areas of Lee County. Here's Leesburg, Highway 19, and there's Highway, I think that's 319 there, but from Highway 19 pressing off toward the east, the northern half of Lee County, that's where we have this tornado warning in effect right now. If you would zoom out that radar for me, Andrew, and we are seeing a possible rotation there just to the north of Leesburg, as you can see here on the storm tracker. Here's Albany. Of course, we are hearing some rumbles of thunder here in the city. Strong line of storms back off to our west. That is moving our way. So definitely we are getting in on the brunt of some of this stronger activity very shortly as it moves toward Highway 19 just across areas of northwestern Dougherty County. But of course, we are dealing with a tornado warning for areas of Lee County, and right now we're seeing that possible rotation just along Highway 19 between Leesburg and Smithville. All this is pushing off toward the east. Now, moderate to heavy rainfall in advance of all of this activity. We're hearing the rumbles of thunder here in Albany, but definitely western areas of Dougherty County are getting in on some strong activity at this particular time. If you are in those areas where there is a tornado warning, you need to be in your safe area right now. Do not go outside to see what's happening. Go to that interior room, the bathroom, or your closet. Stay there until we give you the all clear. But of course, these possible tornadoes, as we have been telling you, are likely to be strong as well as long-lived, meaning staying on the ground for an extended period and covering a large area. But definitely very dangerous right now. Be in that safe area. Make sure that you are there. Everyone stays away from windows, and do not try to go outside. Just make sure you stay there and wait until these intense storms pass on through. Of course, we are continuing to see the activity ramp up this afternoon. The environment is very ripe for these storms to intensify. The very warm air has been the fuel for the storms throughout the afternoon, and now we're seeing quite a bit of activity beginning to spread across other areas as we move throughout our latter part of our Wednesday. But for now, we see the intensity of these storms that are continuing to sit over areas of Lee County. The tornado warning is in effect until 3 p.m. for not only Lee County, but also Turner and Worth County as this cell continues to move off toward the east. Andrew, if you'll put a storm tracker on there so we can get some cities included in this particular warning. We do know Leesburg, you are included. Of course, that is areas of Lee County underneath the tornado warning right now. It is heading off toward Worth County and then eventually toward Turner County. Some cities likely to be impacted. If you're around Oakville, Warwick, Marshall, heading over toward Pateville, and that's all within the next 30 minutes or so. Just be aware that there's a tornado warning. Turner, Lee, and Worth counties all need to be in that safe place until this particular storm passes on through. We've had a history of long track as well as very strong tornadoes for this afternoon. I believe, Melissa, you have some updated information for us?
I do. I just got off the phone with our reporter, Cade Fowler, and he's actually just north of Leesburg, toward Dawson. He says there's heavy rain, reporting lots of lightning. He's actually heading for cover right now, but he is seeing a lot of rain. It's hard to see. It's not easy right now as he's driving, so he is heading for cover in an area that is under a tornado warning.
Yeah, indeed. So he should seek cover. Being outside right now is definitely not the place to be, especially with this tornado warning that is in effect for areas of Turner, Lee, and Worth counties. And once again, here's a look at some of the areas likely to be impacted, including the Oakville area. But of course, we're seeing the possible rotation here just along Highway 19 between Leesburg and Smithville. Storms have been moving off toward the east of this afternoon. This particular one is doing the same. Notice Warwick, you're off to the east, and we still have that warning covering areas just north of Ashburn, heading toward I-75, Highway 441 there over in Turner County. Definitely all in these areas need to be in a safe place. Don't go outside. Of course, we can hear the intense rainfall here at the station, and more than likely we are getting in on some of those stronger winds, although we do not have a warning here for Dougherty County, but definitely we are getting some strong activity at this time. Jim, you have some new information over there?
Just talked to Major Keith Houston, who's with the Lee County Sheriff's Office. He was at the Highway 195 at Lumpkin Road. Also the same thing. That's up near the jail, about a mile east of the jail. Heavy rain, heavy wind, lightning, very strong up in that area, and he was taking shelter as well. So that's an area people need to take note of. If you're up in that area of Lee County, northern Lee County, you need to find a safe place right now, because there is a very heavy storm coming through that area right now.
Yeah, some real heavy rainfall, and I'm quite sure that this is going to cause some rapidly rising water, so don't try to rush outside. Once this storm passes on through, there'll likely be some ponding of water on the roads, and definitely if anybody out there is in your car, well, hopefully you would have gotten to a safe place. Very dangerous to be outside right now, especially with the intensity of this particular storm. Now, although we are getting in on some strong activity in Dougherty County, particularly here in the Good Life City, we are not under a warning. We, however, have tornado warnings for areas of Turner, Lee, and Worth counties, and that does include Leesburg. Areas from Highway 19 heading off toward the east. Warwick, you are included in the tornado warning, and then as we move toward I-75, Highway 41 just north of Ashburn, that's where tornado warnings are in effect now until 3 p.m. So we still have about another 8 minutes or so on this particular tornado warning. Hopefully all are in their safe rooms in this area where we have the warning, the tornado warning in effect. Throughout the afternoon, we've had multiple tornado warnings, and tornadoes have been large as well as long-lived. They've been rain-wrapped, and therefore it's hard to see any rotation, especially when they are rain-wrapped. However, with warnings in effect, definitely very dangerous, and all need to be in that safe area, not trying to venture outside. Stay alert for the remainder of this afternoon, and although there may not be any activity in your area, we still have the potential for strong to severe storms, even tornadic activity, as a tornado watch is in effect until until 8 p.m. I believe we have more information at the news desk. Melissa?
Thank you, Yolanda. Right now, Cade Fowler is on the phone. He's joining us from an area in Lee County, I think just north of Leesburg. Cade, can you clarify, where are you right now?
I'm actually in Leesburg right now at the Flash Foods. Dangerous driving conditions right now. I actually was going up to Americus and found out there wasn't a lot of damage there, at least according to the early reports. And so I was up near Smithville, stopped in at the fire station up there, and then I got back on the road, and then that's when the bottom really fell out. Frequent lightning, heavy rain. If you're on the road, probably don't need to be. It's and for the most part, drivers are heeding that warning. The roads are pretty much empty right now. I'm under canopy here at the Flash Foods, just sort of waiting it out. But just about every 5 seconds or so, you get some strong lightning, lots of thunder going on here right now, and of course heavy wind. So I haven't really been able to keep up with the forecast I've been going. Is there a tornado warning for this area right now?
There is a tornado warning in that area right now, and in fact in Lee County they have opened the Emergency Operations Center there within the last hour.
Yeah, they were telling me about that, and I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, the conditions are pretty much ripe for a tornado warning right now with the heavy winds blowing. Of course, that's from that same system that has been moving through all day. So, right now just a lot of heavy rain, wind, trees are blowing right now, and frequent lightning. I'll send in some video as soon as I get a chance. But yeah, it was pretty messy there for a minute. So, of course, if you're, in Lee County or any of the other surrounding counties, if you don't have to be on the roads, don't be on them because it's definitely a mess up there.
Cade, are the lights still on in Leesburg? Are the stop lights working? Is there lights right now at the Flash Foods?
Yeah, they have power here. I don't think the pumps are working or not, but it seems like all the businesses here have power. I can't speak for the rest of the area, but coming into town, it looked like most of the lights are still on here in the heart of Leesburg, downtown Leesburg.
Okay, do you have any idea how strong the winds are? Can you take a guess at the miles per hour, maybe?
Oh goodness, at this point, I would say pretty heavy. Of course, driving in, it wasn't like blowing, the vehicle off the road or anything like that, but the rain rather was blowing in sheets, so it was definitely not a safe scenario, I would say, for someone to be, on the road in these conditions. I can't really give you an estimate of how fast the wind was blowing, but the rain, as I mentioned, it was falling in sheets, and a lot of leaves blowing around too. So, it's if you're in Lee County, definitely heed those warnings because it's quite a mess out here right now with a lot of heavy rain. And that's the dangerous thing about these storms is when you have rain-wrapped tornadoes, you don't know what you're about to come up on because you can't see. It's not like out west where you can actually see the signature funnel cloud on the ground. Here it's rain-wrapped, and that's what makes the situation so dangerous.
We're still getting that heavy rain here in our studios as well, Cade, so it sounds like there's a lot of storm between us and you. We want you to do the same thing we're telling our viewers. Go take shelter and keep yourself safe. That's the most important thing right now.
All right, thanks for looking out for me, Jimmy. I'm going to send back some video, and we'll stay safe, and like you said, hopefully the viewers will as well.
All right, thank you, Cade. Let's go back to Yolanda.
Well, of course, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Worth and Turner counties. That tornado warning remains in effect until 3 p.m. So still a lot of strong to severe storms in the area, along with the tornadic activity that's covering a few counties at this particular time. But this is the activity that has been moving in from the west toward the east this afternoon. Of course, it's been moving into a very favorable environment for strong to severe storms. It's been rather intense since just before midday, where we've had numerous warnings across the area, including tornado warnings across our western and northern counties. But right now, still a tornado warning, especially for Turner, Lee, and Worth counties, as a potential tornado is moving off toward the east, and then a severe thunderstorm warning for areas of Crisp, Wilcox, and Dooley counties. Very intense activity there. Of course, we are getting in on some very heavy rainfall here in Albany. You're hearing the thunder, no doubt about it. frequent lightning is outside, so that's very dangerous. Stay away from windows. You don't want to be struck by lightning. And with this very heavy rainfall, now we have a new tornado warning that has just been issued for areas of Crisp County right now, and that does cover areas along I-75, areas of Crisp County included in this newly issued tornado warning. So definitely we have some dangerous storms continuing to develop at this particular time. If you're in Dooley County, you are already in your safe area. Please stay there. Wait until this storm passes on through, as things are very intense right now. Crisp County underneath that tornado warning. These storms are moving off toward the east and northeast. So we are continuing to see a lot of these storms intensify as they could move through this very ripe environment, a very warm and moist environment. Of course, we have had some lift with a warm front gradually lifting up toward the north. We're going to take a look at our tower cam, I believe. This is downtown Albany. Look at the blinding rainfall that we're seeing. It is very windy out there, as you can notice, but anyone out on the roads should not actually be there or should pull over and be safe. But with this intense rainfall, and once again, this is a live view through our tower cam in downtown Albany, I'm actually seeing just water being blown on the roads, definitely getting some intense rainfall coming down in buckets at this particular time. So it's not any time to be trying to go outside and travel about. If you're already out there, pull aside, and if you were supposed to go out there, just make sure you wait and until all of this passes on through. But we are seeing some pretty strong activity move through Dougherty County, particularly Albany, as you saw there through our live tower cam from downtown. As we are not under a warning across Dougherty County, but this particular line of storms are rather intense coming through at this point, and we still have the tornado warning in effect for Turner, Lee, and Worth counties, and that warning is in effect until 3 p.m., although we have seen the warning extend now across areas of Turner County. That does move across I-75 off toward the east. Notice the movement of these storms. They are steadily pushing off toward the east at about 30 miles per hour. Now, a storm tracker is still indicating some possible rotation back here along Highway 19 as this area of storms pushes off toward the east, still over areas of Lee County. Definitely, we are continuing to see all of this really ramp up, and we'll be in the thick of things for the remainder of this afternoon on into our Wednesday evening. I believe, Jim, you have some additional information.
Yeah, we have on the phone right now the Lee County Co-County Manager, Mike Sistrunk's on the phone with us right now. Mike, where are you at in Lee County right now?
Hi, Jim. We're at the administration building here in Leesburg right now.
Can you tell us what's going on right now?
Well, we've been having some great deputies out there keeping an eye on things and making sure the folks are safe and checking roads for us. I've got my public works crews at Public Works waiting to go out as soon as this weather settles down, some to check for any damage. As far as right now, looks like we're just getting a lot of heavy rains with a little bit of flooding on some state routes on 195 and I believe some over there at 377. And we also got some trees down on 195. I don't know if any home damages have been reported yet.
You said also on Pine View?
Well, it's over there as Pinewood. There's a couple down on Pinewood and some on 195.
Is it starting to settle down? Is it starting to slow down at all, or is it still going hard?
We got a pretty good heavy rain coming down right now, but there's no winds or nothing like that. It's mostly just heavy rain downpour right now.
Mike, this is Melissa Hodges. Thank you so much for calling in right now. I know y'all are in the middle of this very serious storm that we're watching. Can you tell me if you've received any calls into the EOC yet? I know that you've opened that recently.
Well, we've got actually a post down there, Public Safety Director, Weston, and I believe our police is Colonel Parker down there. As far as them calling us to notify us of anything, we haven't received any damage reports of anything down yet. We're monitoring the radios, but we haven't. Basically, what we've been keeping on right now is mostly roadways and just making sure that roadways are cleared for emergency vehicles. what we'll do is when this settles down a little bit, we'll actually send crews out as well as public works crews out to just look around and just make sure that somebody just didn't get damaged and wasn't able to contact us.
Okay, so the report so far, minor damage, a few trees down, but so far coming out of this fairly minor damage so far.
Yeah, as I told Miss Melissa yesterday and everything, this county has really been blessed with the weather problems that we've been having, and I just hope it continues like that. And we just want everybody to stay inside and stay off the roads. Our deputies is out now trying to keep things straight on the roadways for us, and our public works crews are standing by. As soon as this lightens up to where we can get out and check things, I'll be glad to give you all another update where we are, but right now I think everything is settling down some.
You were saying that Bine Church is welcoming people in Lee County who do want to get in and out of this after this event goes by.
That's the understanding I got from them. Our co-county manager, Christy Dockery, had mentioned that she'd called them, and they said they wouldn't turn nobody away.
Mike Sistrunk, the co-manager up in Lee County, thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate it, and please do send us more pictures and more information as we keep our viewers informed.
And although there are no power outages that we're hearing about in Lee County, we are getting some out of Americus right now. There are 302 people currently without power. However, in other areas, you can see right now this Skype picture that is up. There are minor, very few power outages out in our region. The most appears to be right now in Americus, 302 people without power.
That's very good news as well, and hopefully this will be moving through. Yolanda, right now, as you look at this, we hear the heavy rains still here in Albany. How, is this movement going along well, or how would you describe
it's still moving off toward the east and northeast, but there's a whole lot more lined up across the Florida Panhandle, and that's going to continue to head our way throughout the rest of this afternoon into early evening. Of course, we have a tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. and what that means is that the potential for strong to severe storms will extend into early evening. So still the possibility for more strong, even severe storms and possibly tornadic activity for the rest of this afternoon on into our Tuesday evening. Tornado warning until 4 p.m. for Crisp and Wilcox counties, and that does include Cordele, Irby, and Pitts, as these storms have been moving off toward the east. They're still moving off toward the east. These possible tornadoes have been strong as well as long track, meaning they've been on the ground for an extended period. So we are still looking at the potential for the same storm that moved across Lee County, heading further off toward the east into areas of Crisp and Wilcox counties right now. There's Cordele just along I-75. Pitts is east of I-75. If you're in those areas, get to your safe place at this particular time. Now is not the opportunity for you to go outside and see just what is happening. Now's the time for you to be in your safe area and wait until the storms pass on through. Very dangerous in terms of the tornadic activity that is occurring. Of course, we have a tornado warning until 4 p.m. for Crisp and Wilcox counties. That does include areas of Cordele, Irby, as well as Pitts. Any locations along I-75 off to the west and east of I-75 included in that tornado warning. Still some pretty rough activity all across Lee County, stretching back toward Highway 19. Looks like America's getting a break from the stronger storms right now, but still some rain in the area. And as we see around Dougherty County, especially northern Dougherty County, there is some heavy activity occurring. We've had the intense downpours, also frequent lightning, and indeed some strong winds in the area. I believe, Jim, you've got some updated information.
Melissa has some fresh video to show us now.
That's right. We just got some video into the station. We want to show you of some of the rain, the lightning. This is shot in Albany, in northwest Albany right now. It's very foreboding. It's very dark, sinister, not a time to be on the road. And it's definitely a time for folks in Dougherty County to make sure that they have their safe plan in place. Areas to the north of us right now, of course, are under a tornado warning, but you can see this weather in Albany right now. Shot in northwest Albany, dark clouds, lightning, heavy downpours of rain.
And heavy lightning. We're seeing a lot of Facebook video coming up on people's Facebook pages, friends, and obviously a lot of lightning is what we're seeing, Yolanda.
Yes, Jim, these storms have really ramped up for this afternoon. They're really intensifying, and is what we were anticipating, especially with the ripe environment. Step outside, you felt just how warm it was out there. We had a lot of warmth, a lot of moisture continuing to increase through the early morning and now into the afternoon. A warm front lifted northward, and there's also a cold front on the way. But until that front passes on through, the risk for severe storms will remain across South Georgia, and that's going to take us on into our Wednesday evening. To be exact, we have a tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. So at least until 8 p.m., we will have the threat for stronger storms in our area. Of course, we are still under a tornado warning for areas of Crisp and Wilcox counties. Cordele, Arabi, Pitts, you are in that tornado warning until 4 p.m. So we still have about another 50 minutes or so on that particular warning, picking up some possible rotation right on top of Cordele, according to our storm tracker. And of course, that's the storm that is heading off toward the east, moving toward the Pitts area, moving across I-75 right now. But notice on the back side of all of this, still some rather intense activity in terms of heavy rainfall, even strong winds are on the order. Winds likely around the area, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. I actually checked the last observations here in Albany, and we've had wind gusts between 20 to 30 miles per hour. That may have been higher within the past 10 minutes or so, but definitely some strong winds in the area along with the very heavy rainfall. Looks like a thunderstorm just about to move into Sylvester. We have that heavy rain right on top of Albany, northern Dougherty County, but the heaviest of the activity still impacting areas of Lee County, northern Worth County, southeastern Sumter County, as well as Dooley, Crisp County, and then continuing on into Wilcox County, where a tornado warning is in effect until 4 p.m. Of course, this is what we were warning you about throughout the past few days. Unfortunately, this is round number 2 in terms of severe weather for this week. But once all of this passes, well, then we will have an extended dry period. But let's get through this evening, and after that, we can all settle down and rest easy. I know many of you were up all night long continuing to monitor these storms. Of course, we had some early morning storms, and then things quieted down briefly, but re-intensified as we worked our way toward mid-morning on into the afternoon, and it's been ongoing since that time. Once again, the latest, a tornado warning for Crisp and Wilcox counties. All should be in a safe area at this time. We are getting in on very intense rainfall here in Albany, along with some gusty winds. I believe, Melissa, you have some additional information to share.
Well, I wanted to share, as you were talking about preparing people in advance of this storm, and of course, having people make sure they have their plans in place. I'm looking through our Facebook feed right now, and people are in their safe places. They're praying. They're watching us on Facebook. They're watching us on air right now, live streaming on this app. If you haven't had an opportunity and you're at home right now, you still have power. You want to make sure that you're downloading our WALB News app, download our WALB Weather app. Then you can stay in touch with us as everything is transpiring throughout the evening.
If power goes out, your phone will stay on there. You can continue to watch the radar and continue to get these updates. If right now is not the chance to move if you're in these storms, but later on, this is going to be a long event. So it's something you have to think about. Like you say, make that plan. If you are in a mobile home, you need to be thinking about it. If the storm lets up, you might need to think about going to one of these areas that are safer. And some of the reports we've been getting from the authorities up in Sumter County, we've heard from the police chief that there's just been minor damage. We do know that there are power outages in Americus. That's the area that's lost the most power, 302 customers without power right now. We know in Lee County, right now they have their power, but there is some flooding along that county line at Sumter and Lee County. Their EOC is open. So people are taking the right steps right now. First responders, the emergency responders, making sure that we are ready in case we do lose power and people need shelter. That is the good news. We've been forecasting this event for a couple of days. Yes. Emergency people have the chance to get ready. They are on the ground right now, staying out of the storm while the storm hits. Then after the storm, they go out and are giving us the information about what's going on. That's what you need to think about as well. Stay out of the storm. Don't be looking out. Don't be trying to take pictures of it. Go inside. Stay in your safe room for right now. Absolutely. And get that plan in place for the rest of the night, because we want to continue to stay ready. When the storm goes by, don't think it's over. You want to stay ready for another round. We saw Cordele The rain let up there. Everybody went back outside, but here they are right back under the gun right now again.
And we've got some, I know, messages myself out to folks in Cordele to see what's happening there. But right now we're not getting any reports of damage in that area. But we are having areas that are under a tornado warning until 4 o'clock. Let's check back in now with Yolanda to see how that's looking right now. Yolanda?
Well, Melissa, yes, that tornado warning remains in effect until 4 for Crisp and Wilcox counties. But I wanted to pull back out on the radar to let you see that there are more storms back off to our southwest, particularly across the Florida Panhandle. And notice the movement is off to the northeast, so we do have more storms heading our way as we continue through the rest of this afternoon. In the meantime, let's see, I'm going to zoom in so other areas can see what's happening in your location. If you are along and east of I-75, of course, it's been pretty quiet for you. However, there's a thunderstorm right now just about to enter extreme southwestern corner of Lowndes County. Other areas are picking up on some spotty showers, especially areas of Mitchell County into Colquitt County, and then just isolated activity grading into Decatur County. The stronger storms for today have continued mainly in our northwestern and northern counties. There you see Albany, some very intense activity, northern Dougherty County, but no warnings in effect for any of the activity that's currently moving through our area. The stronger of the storms have been mostly for the past hour or so, moving through Lee County, northern Worth County over into Crisp County, even Wilcox County, which is under that tornado warning. And then as we look toward Dooley County, there is some intense activity in terms of the stronger storms right now. We see northern Worth County really getting hammered with very heavy rainfall, and that extends over into Cordele. Jim?
Yolanda, right now I'm on the texting with one of the judges in Cordele, and she says that she, along with other staff in Cordele, are in the courthouse now. They're in one of the inside courtrooms, and she said it seems like the safest place. That is Superior Court Judge Denise Ficini. She is right now, along with other staff, in the Crisp County Courthouse in Cordele in a safe room inside the courthouse taking shelter. And she just texted me to ask, are we in the clear yet? But I said not yet.
Not yet, because that warning is in effect until 4 p.m. And actually that storm is sitting right on top of Cordele. It is moving across the center of the county at this particular time.
And she does say that there are 6 people that other folks did leave earlier, but some stuck around. So the clerk of courts is there, the court administrator, Judge Ficini, and 6 other people inside that courthouse just hunkering down right now as the storm is passing right over the heart of Cordele.
Well, they actually made the best decision not to go out there and get caught in the storm, because that's the worst place you want to be, in your car in a storm, and you have a possible tornado moving across your area. So very good advice that they took was to stay there and to hunker down there at the courthouse.
Actually, just got a picture from Rochelle. A friend of mine in Rochelle took a picture. You can see a really heavy cloud band, the dark, very dark sky off to the west, but obviously very, layers of clouds is what it looks like in the pictures.
Yeah, layers of clouds, and then we have these individual storms that are intensifying. So they are continuing to move in different areas, and it's hard to say exactly which storm will become tornadic. It's just something that we're continuing to watch, because tornadoes can develop with very little or no warning. And that's why we're seeing this spotty variety of stronger storms this afternoon. There is a new warning that has come out, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning that covers areas of Ashburn over toward Fitzgerald. Let me get the warning on here for you. Still that tornado warning, however, for Crisp and Wilcox, and newly issued is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for areas of Irwin, Turner, Ben Hill, and Worth counties until 3:45. Once again, all these storms are really intensifying across the area and continuing to move toward the east, but this particular cell is back off to the west. It is moving eastward at about 55 miles per hour. you can expect wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, also large size hail. And this storm has been indicated by Doppler radar to possibly contain some hail. So these storms have had a history of producing large size hail throughout the afternoon, and that continues to be the case. But we now have a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for Turner, Ben Hill, Irwin, and Worth counties until 3:45. You also need to be in your safe area. Do not try to get outside. I know many had appointments and things they're trying to get done this afternoon. This is also Wednesday. Wednesday is Bible study. I know we may be a few hours away from Bible study, but I would think now's the time to say we'll have to postpone Bible study for another time because these storms have really become intense within the past few hours.
See these storms moving straight east. That is unusual. Usually when we see storms, they move to the north, to the north, and a little bit more than to the east.
Yeah, a lot of the individual cells are moving more toward the east. All this, however, is coming in from the southwest into our area. But yes, we are seeing a lot of the storms sort of move more off toward the east this afternoon. That's because we do have a cold front back off to our west, and it is steadily pushing eastward. So we have winds coming in from all directions this afternoon, and that has enhanced some of the rotation, and that's why we've had multiple possible tornadoes this afternoon.
And I know this has been a tricky system to pinpoint when and where for so many reasons, but it seems like what y'all have tracked is happening, which is it's picking up intensity as the day is going on.
All of the ingredients are definitely in place, and they are across South Georgia, especially with that warm front lifting northward. It really brought in a lot of warm, moist air, and that's one of the major ingredients that you need in order to have severe storms. And with that cold front coming in from the west, we also have a lot of winds coming in from different directions as we go further up. Not only low-level winds, but then the upper-level winds are also in a different direction. So when you get all of that put together, like in a melting pot, then you have all of the ingredients for strong to severe storms.
And we're seeing obviously a great deal of rotation here on the radar from, a great deal of our area, from all the way to the top of Wilcox County, all the way it appears down to Doherty County almost.
Yes, and not that each storm will produce a tornado, but do know that a severe storm can be just as destructive as a tornado, especially if we're talking about damaging winds reaching 60 to 70 miles per hour.
Can we pull back and show what's coming behind it?
Yeah, sure.
So people need to be considering this right now. You need to be hunkered down. But the people back to the west do not need to take it easy right now. You can see, is that hail back toward the Georgia line back there in, what is that, Randolph County, Stewart County?
Yes, possible hail. These storms have a history of producing large-size hail, even baseball-size hail over Alabama earlier today, and even reports of golf ball-size hail just along the Alabama-Georgia line earlier, right around Eufaula. So hail has been reported with these storms throughout the afternoon, and still looking at possibly hail with some individual sales right now. But notice back across Panama City, across the Florida Panhandle, there are more storms, and they are steadily pushing off toward the northeast, moving into South Georgia. So
it sounds like people need to take advantage right now, find their safe zone, because more could be on the way.
Indeed. So we have the tornado watch in effect until 8 p.m. So until that time, or until that watch is canceled, indeed, we will be dealing with strong to severe storms.
So that means make your plan right now. People can't say it enough. People, if you're in a mobile home right now, you need to consider a safer place to be.
That's because each tornadoes, are a result of severe thunderstorms, and you never know when one may produce a tornado. And tornadoes often develop with very little warning at all. So if we get a few minute warning from a possible tornado, then that's good news. So you should already have your plan and know exactly what you're going to do.
What are some of the items that people should maybe have in that safe place when they have to run to it at a short notice?
Well, possibly if they have the kids' bike helmet to protect their heads, or even some blankets or pillows just to protect themselves in the event that you get flying debris coming through the home and possibly very close to where you are. I've been in many homes after tornado events, and people have come out without any injury, being in their safe room, the closet, the bathroom. But when you look around the home, windows were blown out and items within the home were also tossed around. So that's why we say go to that safe room and protect yourself from any flying debris, because once you come out, you may see something that you are grateful that you got to that safe area.
We seem to have a jet stream right up through Cordele there from Panama City. We can see it right through western part of Georgia, right headed toward Cordele, it appears, right there.
Yes, and that's where we're seeing the heaviest of the activity right now continue, and beginning to see a bit more in terms of storms starting to really get a little bit stronger, and that does cover areas of Stewart County just along the Webster County line, and then southeastern Randolph County, beginning to see some possible rotation there. And once again, even though we're seeing possible rotation, it doesn't mean that it's going to be tornadic, but there could be damaging winds along with that. And indeed, some very heavy rainfall. But of course, the stronger of the storms are continuing to move into areas of Crisp County, also Wilcox County. Still some pretty hefty activity over northern Worth County, some very heavy rainfall in that area. And portions of Worth County are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that warning covers areas over toward Fitzgerald. So if you are in those locations from northeastern Worth County through Turner County over into areas of Irwin and Ben Hill counties, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for you until 3:45.
And we have been communicating with people in all of these areas right now. And of course, a short time ago, we were communicating with the Superior Court Judge Denise Ficini over there in Crisp County, and she and at least 6 others are inside the courthouse in the heart of Cordele right now, hunkered down, taking shelter. She said the clerk and the court administrator is there. She did say that the power is on, but it was just simply too bad to leave, and they just decided to stay put and wait the storm out.
Yeah, a portion of that tornado warning for areas of Crisp County have been shaved away, but still southeastern Crisp County heading over into Wilcox County remain under a tornado warning until 4 p.m. Possible some quarter-size hail with that particular storm as it moves through Crisp County. It has now moved just east of I-75 heading into Wilcox County. And it's been moving toward the east at about 30 miles per hour. So not really racing. They're really going pretty slow. So the intensity of the activity is sticking around, say, a bit longer than storms that we would normally have that, you know, they come through, they move on out, say, within 15 to 20 minutes. These have been lingering across the same areas because of the slow movement.
And is that unusual that this has been at maybe a slower speed?
There's not a lot of push to move these storms on out. The cold front is still back off to the west, so the cold front isn't really moving all that much. And as a result, that's why these storms are moving a tad slower.
Well, we've had some reports of minor damage in some of the areas that have seen some of the heavier bits of this storm that we've been watching. We know that there's been some damage in Sumter County. We do know in Lee County that a tree was down at the I-95 bypass there near the bridge. We know that there's some minor flooding in northern Lee County at that Sumter County border. We do know the power is mostly on in the region. The biggest power outage is in Americus. Last check was 302 people there. So far, our reports coming in are not heavy damage. In fact, very minor damage, trees down. But this is a long day ahead of us. As you've said and shown earlier, Yolanda, these storms are continuing to just ramp up as the evening progresses. Now,
we just got a report in from Randolph County's EMA Director, Kenneth Burns. He is saying that in Randolph County, they have to the west side of Highway 27, just north of Mound Road, They've seen a lot of storms, but no homes that they're aware of have been damaged. Mostly wooded areas have seen some trees down and some damage. He's estimating that this storm was 1 mile long, about a half a mile wide, that went through Randolph County. They haven't seen any hail yet, according to Kenneth Burns, but he says he has talked to the EMA directors over in Stewart County, and they're saying that they have had some damage over there. In Stewart County, they have seen, EMA is reporting some homes damaged there, but in Randolph County, according to reports now from Kenneth Burns, the EMA director, they have not had any homes that they're aware of damaged so far. Obviously, that's some very good news.
Yes.
A storm a mile long, a half a mile wide, that's obviously very dangerous.
Indeed. So let me put the storm reports we've received so far this afternoon. And here's one of that possible tornado that was up in Webster County. Damage reported to 2 buildings along Main Street. One building had the roof removed. The building actually collapsed. So that was the one for Webster County. And then the others possible tornado, the one that you were talking about, Jim, over in northern Randolph County, right around Benevolence, multiple reports of tornadoes cited with a damage in that particular area of Randolph County. Also, here's another storm report, and this one is coming out of Lee County. Leesburg, reports of a funnel cloud in Leesburg, and that came about 2:37. Of course, Lee County was under a tornado warning, but so far not getting any reports of any damage from that possible tornado in Leesburg about 2:30 this afternoon.
And I do want to share a phone number with all of our viewers right now as we're talking about a possible funnel cloud in Leesburg. The EOC director has shared a phone number that people there that need help, that are seeing damage, to call. That number is on your screen right now. You can see it. It's 229-759-6051. That's the Lee County EOC phone number, 759-6051. Around 2:30, Yolanda, you just said that there's been a report of a funnel cloud in Leesburg. That's an area that we heard from Cade Fowler, who was at the Flash Foods. He had to pull over because of the very bad weather there and the terrible rain to take cover.
And I just got a report from Captain Buddy Johnson. He's with the Georgia State Patrol here in South Georgia. He says that they are getting reports of damaged areas across southwest Georgia. He's talking about the roads. He's saying they're seeing a lot of traffic out about, and that a lot of trees and power lines are down in areas across the South Georgia area. And he is worried about these are in the roadways in certain areas. So the Georgia State Patrol is asking people to stay home. As Captain Buddy Johnson, the Georgia State Patrol, he's not saying a particular area, but just across all of South Georgia, he's saying please stay home during this event because there are trees and power lines down in certain areas.
And you
now, I'm not surprised,
Right.
Based on the intensity of these storms and the reports that were coming in said that these possible tornadoes were large, they were rain-wrapped, and they were long track. They were staying on the ground. It is fortunate so far that we've only received minor reports from damages as a result of those storms that have been coming through this afternoon.
But you won't be able to see those down power lines. You won't be able to see those trees if the rain is as terrible as it is right now. People are having visibility issues, and so it's best, as the Georgia State Patrol just alerted us, for everyone to just stay home, stay at your office. If you're at your workplace, do not attempt to get on the road right now. It is just not safe.
In our newsroom, got a report in from Crisp County. They're saying right now no reports of any property damage. They do have downed trees near the north end of Crisp County. Reports of hail in Araby, reports of heavy hail in Araby, but saying right now no reports of any property damage. This is for reports coming into our newsroom right now.
And that is fortunate because these storms, once again, have been rather intense, and they have been moving very slowly across these areas, especially our northern counties throughout the afternoon. Indeed, a lot of heavy rainfall. It has been pretty intense. blinding rain in many areas. Of course, we've had that here in the Good Life City, but right now, most of the stronger activity still covers areas of Lee County, beginning to see a bit more activity over into Terrell County, Webster County, Sumter County, moving over into Crisp County, Turner County, and then over into Irwin and Ben Hill counties.
And I have to say, some of these pictures that we're seeing on Facebook right now and that are being sent into our newsroom are just so dramatic. Lightning, flashing, cracking. It is truly incredible right now. It's absolutely not safe to be outside driving on the roads.
We don't want to encourage you to go out and take pictures while the storm is there. Any pictures you have of damage, any reports you want to send us, pics at WALB.com. PIX@WALB.com is where you can send us your pictures, you can send us your videos, you can send us your reports of what's going on, but please do not go out and try to take something dramatic for us. We're not interested in that. We want to see people safe. That's why we're here. Right now, Yolanda is checking on the very latest, and we're starting to see rotation. Goodness, all the way from Terrell County all the way up into, it looks like up into Wilcox County, past Dooley County.
Now, I am seeing, this is not confirmed, but possible rotation right around Ashburn, and that's over in Turner County, and that was within the past 5 minutes. And that area is still under a tornado warning. So a lot of funnel clouds, possible tornadoes being indicated or cited this afternoon across South Georgia. So that's why I'm really surprised that, or at least thankful that we haven't had any widespread destruction.
And let's talk about that again with folks who are just now tuning in. Stewart County, we are getting some reports of homes that were damaged there. In Randolph County, however, no homes reported damaged. In Sumter County, we've heard from the police chief in Americus. He says that there are minor reports of damage, downed trees, but we are still working on trying to get more information out of Sumter County, particularly southern Sumter County, which might have seen the worst part of that storm system when it came in. We know in Lee County that there is reports of a tree down at 195 at the bypass there. Power is still on mostly around the region right now, which, except in perhaps Americus, last report 302 people without power there, but mostly the power is still on, which after those storms in January, people without power for 10 days, 12 days, and longer. That in itself is such great news to hear right now.
Right now, that is the good news. And we're seeing there in Crisp County, we're getting reports of some trees down, but no major damage. Heavy hail in Araby right now moving through that area. So these storms are moving. There's no doubt about it. They are moving straight to the east almost. People in Ashburn right now are probably feeling the brunt of some storms right now. But we still see heavy rain back into Lee County and back into Terrell County. Even we're seeing it to the north, up into Dooley County, into Wilcox County. So a lot of rain, a lot of storm all around. The Georgia State Patrol says there is trees down. There are power lines down on roads across South Georgia. The main advice everybody has right now, stay home. Get in your safe room. Get yourself comfortable and just stay there, because that's the safest thing to do right now. Take a look at your screen. This is a very widespread storm system, and there's more coming in from Florida that we're seeing. So the best thing you can do is find you a safe spot, get comfortable, and just stay there, because the warning goes through 8 o'clock, I believe. Is that correct, Yolanda?
It does until 8 p.m. The watch, that is, Jim, it is a tornado watch that covers just about all of South Georgia until 8 p.m. So we'll continue with the threat of severe storms, even possible tornadoes through that time. Now, it is possible that watch could be canceled prior to 8 p.m., but for now, we are expecting the severe storms to be around into early evening.
And we are talking about the fact that we are under this watch right now until 8 p.m. Severe storms that can continue to develop in the area that are happening right now and staying off the roads. And we've been getting pictures from many of you that are out there. We have one in Lee County right now. Look at this picture. Look at that crack of lightning. That was taken in Lee County a short time ago and shared with us. You can see how ominous the clouds are right now. It is not safe to be outside. We have heard from the Georgia State Patrol. They're asking people, since power lines are down, the reports of trees down, to just stay off the roads. And that is the best thing to do. Stay at your office, stay at your home, just remain in place and do not attempt to get on the road right now. It is very dangerous.
A report coming in from Sumter County. They say they have had lots of rain, but so far no damage. That is the very good news in Sumter County. Still, even after they've been hit with a couple of fronts out of this coming through, Sumter County reports of no damage so far.
And we're getting some information now out of Ashburn, which we know is right in the midst of this storm system that's coming over them. The police chief, Cliff Jordan, said that right now there is golf ball sized hail in Ashburn, heavy winds, mostly hail and winds, however, and we will continue to be in contact with him to find out if there's any damage. But right now out of Ashburn, we're hearing from the police chief, golf ball sized hail. And
in Dougherty County, getting reports of no damage so far. In Dougherty County, where we've been seeing a lot of rain, we've heard it here on the roof of our studios, and a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, but no damage reported in Dougherty County so far either. So far these storms are packing a pretty good punch, but so far in South Georgia we have not seen a great deal of major damage.
And here's another good report out of Turner County, an area that we were looking at earlier where the systems were coming through. No damage reported in Turner County.
Everybody's saying a lot of rain. Obviously we're hearing about hail. We're seeing pictures of lightning. This is a very dangerous storm. Don't be feeling confident now. This is not the time to be feeling confident about it. This is the time to hunker down and stay safe. There are warnings, there are watches across South Georgia, and we want everybody to understand this is not over. The warning goes through 8 o'clock tonight, so we are continuing to try to keep you up to date on what's happening. Andrew Gorton is moving into our weather center right now. Andrew, what are you checking on?
Just checking on the latest here on this tornado warning that we've been talking about here for a while. The one I'm referring to would be in Wilcox and Crisp County, so let's take a peek at that, see what we have going on there. It's still there. They've shaved a little bit away, but it's kind of hard to see it with all the other action going on, so I'm going to trim some of this other stuff off of here so you can get an idea of what's going on. So take off the watch, take off the radar, and this red area is what I'm referring to, talking about the tornado warning that's left here until 4 o'clock. And it's only two more counties, but it does include areas of Pitts and Araby. It's kind of really hard to see what's going on inside this storm since we don't have really good radar data today. Some of the radars are down, but
we just got some question. We're getting reports and questions from people. Somebody decided they think in Dougherty County it's time to move to a safer area. They wanted to know where there are some shelters open. There are some shelters open in Dougherty County. The Albany Family Worship Center on Kensington Court, the Cutliff Grove Baptist Church, that's on the 800 block of West Broad, Bind Memorial Church on Lido Road, Victory Tabernacle Church on Sylvester Road, the Westover High School and the Dougherty High School. All of those have shelters that are open right now. They're safe shelters for people that want to go and find a safer place right now because they're watching and seeing what's going on. Right now outside we don't hear a great deal of rain. You need to be careful if you're going to move out, but if you feel like you're in an unsafe place, those are areas you can go. This is a picture that we received from Oxford Construction area. That's Oxford Construction in Albany, and look at the intensity of that lightning going straight from the sky all the way to the ground apparently there. And that's the kind of thing that we're telling people you don't need to be outside because that is the danger in South Georgia right now.
And there are folks right now that could very well be at the Albany Mall. That's a place where a lot of people went today because we had this very beautiful morning, really, and early afternoon waiting on the system to come through here in Dougherty County. And if you're in the mall, because folks brought their families there, here are the tornado safety zones. These are the places that if you're in the mall, you want to head to when a tornado warning is issued to take cover.
And you can go to our website, WALB.com. We've got all the list of safe areas of safe zones on our website there. You can see them from Dougherty County, Wilcox County, Mitchell County, Ben Hill County, Lowndes County, Coffee County, have all reported in areas that you can go to be safe, and that's what you need to do. That you can go to WALB.com.
And we also are hearing from our EMA director in Dougherty County, Ron Rowe, and he says there are no damage reports out of Dougherty County at this time.
That's very good news. So right now is the time to hunker down and to get comfortable and to think about your emergency plan. If you don't have one, hopefully your family's there with you, and now's the time to think about this and talk about this kind of situation.
That's right, and make sure you have all of the items that you might need in that safety zone, because as Yolanda mentioned a short time ago, and it's really a great point to just take home, it happens so quickly. It happens in a moment, and you will just have to go to that safe place. And so it's important to have that area prepared and stocked up with your blankets, helmets for small children, other materials like flashlights and things that can protect you in case of flying debris.
And you have to think about 3 days ahead of time as well. When you're putting that emergency kit together, think about the storms that we had in Dougherty County in January. You want to make yourself safe. You want to have the kind of supplies you'll need in case the power goes out, because we are hearing about some power lines down. Now, we do have reports in from the EMA directors in Worth County and Mitchell County. They're reporting so far they have found no storm damage. No storm damage reported so far in Dougherty, Worth, and Mitchell counties, and that's some very good news right now as we continue to get these reports in.
That's right, and there's no damage reported as well in Turner County, and also very, it seems like minor damage in Randolph, no homes damaged anyway. So far, it seems like Stewart County might be the area where homes are damaged, and so we're working on getting more information out of Stewart County right now, but out of Worth, Turner, Lee County, Randolph, these are areas in Dougherty County we're not getting reports of damage.
And Sumter County as well, even though they have seen a great deal of storm, and they say a whole lot of rain is what they're telling us up in Sumter County. So far, no major damage there. So that's those are very good reports in so far. Randolph, Stewart County, we're still trying to get more information out of there. Continue to send your pictures to pics@WALB.com. You can send us reports at news@WALB.com. Let us know what's going on around South Georgia. This is the time to do that. This is the time to let us know. But do not try to get out and take pictures while the storm's going on. Just let us know what's happened already.
And as the system that you're looking at right now is passing, part of it's over Ashburn. We are getting reports from the Ashburn police chief right now of golf ball sized hail there. Heavy winds, but they are mostly seeing hail and winds in Ashburn at this time.
Andrew, back to you.
Yeah, we're still looking at the same area of a tornado warning here for about the next 15 or 16 minutes here. And can't really tell if there's rotation in this, honestly, but at least in the Pitts Double Run Airby area, definitely have qualifications for a severe storm nonetheless, let alone a tornado. Just be hard to really pinpoint that with the lack of radars we have available to us today. But looks like the heaviest rain is going to be on the Haw Pond Road area across 75 as well. Few of these severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to expire, but we're still hanging on to this severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning in Crisp and Wilcox County. Now, this was just a radar-indicated rotation that we had with this storm, and I don't think that we've confirmed any damage yet with this, which is some great news over in Crisp or Wilcox County, but the National Weather Service and Peachtree City still does have this warning for the next 15 minutes. So we're going to keep up to date on it, and if we have a report of a tornado with this, we'll come back to you with it.
Andrew, now we have a picture of this is what's happening right now in Ashburn. That is hail in somebody's hand, and you can see that is, I guess, quarter-sized hail right there
Even
in
a little bit
somebody's
bigger
hand.
than that, yeah.
You can imagine with a great deal of that falling, high winds and heavy rain, how severe this is right now going on in Turner County.
Another good reminder just to stay put if you're there as the storm passes by at this time, and these storms will continue to develop throughout the evening. That is what we're watching. We're under a tornado watch most of the state until 8 o'clock tonight, correct?
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now, and there is some more rain that's on the way, so just a brief break from that tornado warning. I'm going to show you guys exactly what is coming our way. So putting this in motion, you can see most of the heavy rain, the thunderstorms, isolated to our northern counties where we have that severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado warning. But briefly, I just want to show you that off toward the south, in the southwest. It does appear that we could have some more showers and thunderstorms move into the way. Some of those storms in the panhandle of Florida going into southern Alabama south of Dothan look like they potentially have a little bit of rotation in them, but we don't have any warnings for those storms yet that are coming into the area. And the good news with that is some of the same area that they're going to track over as they get into southwest Georgia, it's already received rain today, so atmosphere could be a little bit more stabilized, which means you have a little bit less of a threat for severe weather. So it's not out of the question. Again, a lot of southwest Georgia still under this tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. Really, almost all of us are. Once we get closer to 8, I think that some of these counties could get trimmed off a little bit. But if you're in one of these red counties, I mean, you still have to be weather aware for the next almost 4 hours at least, unless the tornado warning's canceled for your area. But I just wanted to show you guys that we had that potential for, potential for that severe storm as we go through a little while. Here's a look out at Tifton. It's not looking so bad right now, but really the next thing that we have to watch after this warning, so if it does expire at 4, is those showers and thunderstorms down off toward the southwest. But take us back to that warning right now, since we do still have that tornado warning, and at the very least in the Ashburn area south of Cordele, it looks like we are getting some major hail in the area potential. So at the very least, you know, these are very severe storms. We just have to hang on here because of that tornado warning. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing my voice. I'm tired of hearing my own voice, but we still have that one tornado warning in the red shaded box. There, that polygon, I suppose. The main threats with this, the tornado indicated on radar. We do not have a confirmation on that tornado at all, but it is radar indicated. I think the bigger threat of this would be the wind and the quarter-size hail for Wilcox and for Crisp counties as well.
And we just want to kind of take a moment first. And I know, Andrew, this has been a very, very long day for you. And thank you for all that you're doing here to follow this storm. And it looks like the tornado warning will be expiring here shortly. But we do want to say, so far as we've been following this, and you all at home and elsewhere are watching this, we have very few damage reports right now beyond trees down. I want to go through the list. No reports of damage in Worth County, in Turner County, Mitchell, Sumter, Stewart, Dougherty County, Randolph County, Lee County.
Also, just got off the phone with Lee County Sheriff Reggie Rachels. He said very little damage, lots of rain. He said there's a lot of water on the roadways in Lee County, and it's still raining up that way. He was at the jail, which is up toward the northern part of the county. He said there's still a lot of rain there. He said they've had some reports of trees down, a couple of power lines down, but nothing, very little minor damage supposedly in Lee County, but they're still concerned by the water on the roads.
And that's a very big concern. We know that this water, even just a few inches on the road, you attempt to drive over it, can wash out and be a very dangerous situation. So with this minor flooding reports in Lee County and perhaps elsewhere too, it's just best to stay home at this point.
And the Georgia State Patrol has asked us to put the word out, stay off the roads this afternoon, this evening, because of trees down, power lines down, and water over those roadways.
Now, we are looking to see what's going to happen in Ashburn, because we have seen that picture earlier, and I don't know if we can show that again, but that golf ball sized hail that we're getting reports of in Ashburn, coupled with heavy winds there. And when you have heavy winds and hail like that, there's going to be damage.
And lightning, of course, it's a great danger.
Major damage, or not major rather, but we do know that homes were damaged in Stewart County. That is the one area that we've had confirmed reports from the sheriff in that area. But we don't know to the extent of that, and we don't know, most importantly, if people were injured, and we're waiting to find out that information at this time.
Well, that's the good news, that we have not had reports of anything like that so far. That's what we hope continues on.
That's right.
And as we continue this tornado warning for Crisp and Wilcox County, which includes the cities of Arabi and Pitts, I just want to say, you know, with those tornado emergencies earlier, especially in Sumter County, I think they really, we lucked out there that, you know, I don't want anyone to have damage, but if you miss a heavily populated area, that's always something good. So to hear that we haven't had any injuries when we've had multiple tornado emergencies today issued by the National Weather Service, that is just a great news. You know, you guys as the viewers, you guys have obviously been doing a great job of paying attention to the warnings, and I know everybody's more on edge after what we had in January, but you know, you still have to do your job there, and I'm glad that you guys are taking this seriously because of what happened in January. So thank you guys for, you know, listening to us here all day, and you know, we're just gonna stick with you guys until this tornado warning goes off until 4, and then we'll see if that tornado warning ends up being renewed or not.
And one thing that we want to talk about as well is the power outages. There haven't been many reports of that. And Andrew, you're just talking about January. People are taking this system incredibly seriously. Obviously, what we experienced in January has been horrific. We're still recovering from that. There's so much damage out there still, and this is happening. So folks, of course, are very serious about their emergency plans, taking shelter at this time. But the one bright light coming out of today is that there haven't been many reports of power outages so far that we know about. We know of around 300 in Americus, but elsewhere we're not getting many reports of that. And that is a good thing, because we cannot forget in January, people were without power for many days, long stretches of time, and that is so difficult to live with, especially if your home's damaged. It was just a very, very difficult time, and I'm glad to say that there are very few reports of power outages.
And a lot of the storm victims have had a great deal of emotions that are being affected again today, impacted again today. A lot of people have psychological, you know, things that are still coming back from January. A lot of people were scared as we were giving out these warnings. I know today I've received a lot of messages about people praying. That's always a good thing to do, and staying safe is the best thing you can do. We know a lot of people are scared out there. A lot of people have high emotions. The best thing to do is stay informed and stay safe right now.
They do. And so where is the system right now in these last few minutes before the tornado warning expires at 4 o'clock?
Well, it's still going to be in our extreme northeastern counties here that we cover across southwest Georgia, and including Crisp and Wilcox are the ones still hanging on to that tornado warning. Probably going to last until 4 o'clock. It would have been canceled by now, I believe, if they were going to cancel it. But something that's kind of caught my attention off toward the east a little bit is in the Rebecca area, Ben Hill County as well, going toward Fitzgerald. You see the pink there that's showing up on the radar. Well, that looks like the potential. I'll get my little cursor here. This area here looks like we could have hail that's half dollar size, which is 1.25 inches. Okay. That's definitely damaging hail. So if you live in this area from Rebecca to the Fitzgerald area, definitely some potential for some damaging hail in addition to the strong wind, because you could have 60-mile-an-hour winds with this storm as it continues to push off to the east. So right now, this area south of Cordele, including Pitts and Araby, and I-75, of course, can't discount that, still under this tornado warning. So hopefully the drivers are being very careful on I-75. Haven't checked the traffic on 75 in a little while, but really haven't had any reports of anything major, which is great. We have had damage reports across South Georgia today, like we've been going over, but confirmed tornadoes as well, but nothing too major just yet.
Just in from our newsroom, we have talked to the EMA director of Stewart County, Greg Stewart. He reported that at least 4 homes have damage in Stewart County. One of them was a mobile home that he says was destroyed. He said another home had major roof damage. These are off of Freeman Road, which is in the southern part of Stewart County. Now, Greg Stewart's reporting there were lots of trees down. A few roads are closed now in Stewart County. They're working on trying to reopen. Those roads are all county roads. There are no major roads in Stewart County, but there are a few roads in Stewart County that have had to be closed because of damage, and they're working now on trying to reopen those. But at least 4 homes with damage in Stewart County. One of them, he's saying, is destroyed, a mobile home, another with roof damage. This is off Freeman Road in southern Stewart County.
And we don't know yet if there have been injuries.
That's what we're still waiting on. That came in from Greg Stewart. There was no report of any injuries with that very detailed report. So hopefully that's very good news.
Yeah, that's exactly what we hope. And I think with people really having their guard up still from the January storms, and even many of our nonprofits, first responders, still in response mode, frankly, from January. People were in a lot of ways ready for today. prepared for today in some ways, just to make sure that they were going to be safe.
The good news is we had this forecast for a couple of days. The
Yes.
warning was there. People could get ready, and this is the time right now to heed those warnings. As you see, the tornado warning until 4 o'clock there in many portions of South Georgia, but don't think we're out of the woods yet, right, Andrew? This could still continue on through the night?
Right. You know, anytime you have a tornado watch in effect, you have to be on guard, even if it's not raining. We saw that earlier today when we had that tornado watch in effect. Earlier, of course, some of us were even seeing some sunshine outside, which really didn't help the severe potential as we went into the afternoon and now later afternoon hours. But I don't think that we're quite done yet with the severe storms. You know, we've only got just a couple, less than a handful of minutes now waiting out this last warning in Crisp and Wilcox County. But it's also important to note that you don't have to have a tornado warning to have the severe storms, because these storms you see lit up here in the yellow box, that's got 60-mile-an-hour winds, almost golf ball size hail. That's going to do plenty of damage. So just because you don't have a tornado warning over you does not mean that you can't have damage to yourself, your property, and you still need to take cover. The same rule applies whenever we say what to do for a tornado warning. Inside your shelter and everything. Severe thunderstorm warning really shouldn't be too different, because say you got a straight line winds, mix that with quarter-sized hail, that could come through your living room window or something of the sort. So be on guard tonight, not just for this tornado watch that is still in effect until 8 o'clock, but with these severe thunderstorms that could still pop up. I'm going to zoom out, give you a look at what we have right now. All those red shaded counties still in that tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. So all of these areas. Now we do have a few thunderstorms popping up in areas that actually don't have the tornado watch out right now, but those are not tornadic storms. But something that John and I are going to have to watch as we go into the evening, as I put this now in motion, is there's just a line of storms, again, not severe as of right now, but moving in from the Florida Panhandle and Alabama into now our southwestern counties. So these are moving this way. If they stayed on the same track, they could eventually make it toward Early County, Miller County, up again toward Blakely and Americus. But no, obviously a long way to go with that. So got about less than a minute now on this tornado warning, and once that hits 4 o'clock, we're going to switch over toward the 4 o'clock news, the first new at 4 here. And if that warning does come back up, of course, we're going to bring you coverage with that or any other severe or tornado warning. We're going to make sure that we keep you guys safe with that. But as we get just so close to 4 o'clock, we're going to wait to see if that tornado warning continues or not. Again, this is the area we're looking at, and what we're looking for is for that red box to disappear at 4 o'clock. That's what we're hoping for here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I know many of you have been with us for many hours right now. This is First News at 4. And we do want to go at this time to the Weather Center, where we have been tracking these storms for quite some time. And I'll tell you, so far we've been very lucky. This tornado warning has expired. There have been reports of some minor damage. It seems the worst damage, however, has been in Stewart County. And I want to kind of go through this list with you and what we do know at this time. We do know that there have been no damage reports at this time in Worth, Turner, Mitchell, Sumter, Stewart, Dougherty, Randolph, Lee County. But I do want to say, however, let me back that up. In Stewart County, we do know that some homes were damaged, and we are going to